All right. All right, folks. This is a I'll wait for people to actually come in. This is for Touch Up Fridays after party. Whenever you guys come on over. We're on Art New Styles channel. Let me go ahead and see if I can boot my whatchamacallit up. We're on Art New Styles channel, and we were yucking around, so they suggested that for old time's sake, I have an after party. So wait for you guys to come on in. Hey Ash, what's going on, baby? How's the baby? What's up, folks? Yeah, we're on doing a stream on Art New Styles channel, and I wait for them to get in to describe it, see if they're here. Yeah, yeah. 5 months and thriving. Oh yeah, she still got them chubby cheeks. You guys can't hear me? Hold on a second. Yeah, I can hear myself. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and put the link in, and uh, where should I put this? Where should I put this? I don't think Art's chat is still up. Oh, you there? Okay. Okay, I'll go ahead and put it in. Yeah. Chrome. I hate Chrome. At the hotel lobby. My internet is giving me hell. Can you guys hear me? My internet's giving me hell. All right, let's try this again. All right. All right. I'm gonna start using Brave because Google Chrome is giving me all kinds of headaches. All right. There's the link. You guys can jump in when you get ready. Let me close down some of these tabs. But the lawyer in Texas, boy, she was tap dancing. I have to give her credit. She was dancing.
Man, the tap dance, like, oh boy,
what's going on?
Hey, Meech, what's happening?
Talking about she went through cases where the guy that had to pay child support and abandon the child. Like,
you can file. That's what I was asking. We're asking for the case law. I didn't see nowhere in the case law. You can file for a petition.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is there's no place in it where I said they're just that's all you had to do. You know.
Yeah.
And if you have enough money, you could fight for it. Yeah, you know.
Yeah, you got to prove. You have to prove that one of the parents is a detriment to the child. At least
detriment to the child. Yeah, it wasn't that simple.
Yeah, it's not as simple as like, I don't want to take care of the kid. Okay.
You know, I can understand if you say if your DNA is getting passed around and it's paternity fraud, that you can file for petition.
Yeah, and even that you got to prove.
You got to prove. You have to prove it. But the thing is, I can understand that. But saying that the average joke and before the baby's born, you can actually file for a dissolution of parental rights, and you don't have to pay child support. So where they do that at?
Where?
That's in Texas. I said, come on, I would have heard about that because I got folks in Texas.
You know how many MGTOW channels would have picked that up?
Really? Yeah, you ain't lying about that.
Shit.
You know how many folks will be moving to Texas?
Okay, really?
Texas, here I come.
That was hilarious though. She was hilarious. I wish you could get her back on.
What's the conversation?
Now we was on the Art New Styles panel. We were talking about talking to this lawyer that was saying that guys could actually abandon their children and don't pay child support.
Yeah, she's trying to say
right.
Yeah, it said marriage is no risk. You know, a very
She out
little
of her
risk.
goddamn mind. I live in Texas since 2003. She full of shit.
Yeah, so I'm talking about. I said, well, I would have heard of that. Yes, sir. Because you're not in Dallas. You're out of Dallas, ain't you? Somewhere near there.
I used to live in Dallas. I lived in Dallas for most of the time. You know how many motherfuckers will be living in Texas right now? That'd be the land of milk and honey. Shit. Are you serious? There's so many people in Texas struggling with child support.
Texas has one of the worst, with some of the most stringent child support laws in the country. That in Georgia.
That bullshit.
That's what I'm talking about. They got the most. I said I ain't never heard of that. There's tons of brothers would held in the law office, law library, trying to put those. You can make a killing on that kind of stuff if you have enough. If that was the case, guys, a whole bunch of guys with money would pay you $10,000, $20,000 to get out of that shit.
Yeah,
hell yeah.
Detroit's no better.
A lot more in child support.
Yeah.
Shit, one of my buddies got hit with the damn child support shit while he was in Texas.
Wow.
And that's recent.
Too many leftists. We don't want any more leftists. It's not California people moving to Texas. It's leftists, is the white folks moving from other places. The techies doing leftists. Yes, sir.
Is it possible to move if you're on the child support?
Is it possible to move
to another state?
It's not gonna, you can do it, but the thing is that stuff is going to follow you because of federal of the federal reciprocation laws. But you can move.
I don't mind it following me.
No, you can move.
I'm just saying, like it. Okay.
You're not obligated to stay in the state. You can move unless you have like physical custody of the child. If you don't have physical custody of the child, no, you can move.
Yeah,
you can't stop you from moving. Yeah. As long as the check comes in, you can do anything you want.
And what other question? So what if you don't have a job anymore, because they usually take it from your paycheck, and if you don't have a job anymore,
those fees keep rolling. Yeah, you just fall behind. You go in debt. It doesn't stop because you're out of work. Unless you go back in court and actually tell the judge that you don't have a job and you need to have it reduced or something. You gotta go back in court, otherwise the clock keeps rolling on your money.
And then if you keep missing
I'm just saying, in case your employment ends, but you still have a means to kind of keep up with the payments, do you have to like inform the court that you don't have a job no more, or something, or how do you go about that?
Yeah. So Willow 3R, basically, red states are some of the most stringent child support states in the country. The blue states are a little bit more lenient, but the red states, they don't play, man.
No, they don't.
I heard people, some brothers in Georgia committed suicide over the freaking child support laws, man. They don't play. Georgia don't play. And I heard about them, but they were ridiculous.
Shit, North Carolina either.
North Carolina's still a red state, right?
Yeah, it kind of flips, but it's mostly red.
Yeah. Yeah, so Hulk says Texas no joke with the laws. I don't know where she was. I'm saying she's quoting something and said we're reading and said that don't say nothing about what you're talking about. Now maybe you're a lawyer, you can figure out loopholes, but according to what we're seeing,
yeah, because everything's up to the judge.
Yeah,
that's how Hall family court is. It's really up to the judge. Now you can file the petition to waive your rights, but the judge can say, we're not following this.
Yeah,
just like they could deal with a prenup. She talking about like you could do a prenuptial agreement. I've seen judges throw that out.
Yeah, throw them out.
Some states will throw that out.
Yeah, some will.
Prenup don't matter. In some states, I think California. Well, you could. Never mind.
That's what I was like.
Like she's talking about extenuating circumstances.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, she was trying to sell it.
Yeah,
she's trying to sell it. She's trying to sell it. There ain't no risk to being married.
Have you over there betting the goddamn farm on a 1 in a trillion chance?
That might be true for black women, but it ain't true for the black man.
Well,
no, she says we get it. We have it.
we have better.
We get the better part of the deal.
Not in this day and age.
Yes, I got a question.
What
Yes,
deal
sir.
is she talking about?
she's a female and she's a lawyer. Of course, she's gonna say it. Go ahead.
I think she was trying to get some. Go ahead, Meech.
Yeah. Go ahead.
No, I'll say I think she was trying to get some buyers for her daughters.
Oh yeah. I think so.
Yeah.
Because she was saying these girls getting passed around. I said,
like a blunt.
Yeah, like a blunt. I said, okay.
Passed around.
I said, what do you mean by that?
Jumping from hand to hand.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, do they want to be passed around?
Yeah.
Yeah. It said, yeah, she's shooting herself in the foot. She don't know. I said that lawyer stuff don't work on us.
No.
We start calling her on case law and reading the case law. I'm a lawyer, blah blah blah. He's reading it. Okay.
Yeah. I'm reading it right in front of you. But.
Somebody just told her the days of us choking it back when something doesn't sound right, we don't say anything about it. Them days gone.
Yeah, them days
them
gone.
over. You guys are long gone.
Oh yeah, we had her backsliding. That's it. Especially when I said, counselor, that's not the question that I asked you.
And the crazy part in Georgia,
I did that to Carib. Carib had to back up, and she started laughing. Counselor, counselor.
What BGS?
Yeah, and the crazy part in Georgia, man, them doggone people down there, their child support court, especially like the ladies that go out, man, they like bloodhounds, dude. In Georgia, they will find you. You cannot hide. They will find you. Then the crazy part is like my aunt, she had a baby by this dude. Her baby daddy was dating the lady over the case, and my aunt had to go down there and tell him, hey, can't do that. You can't date this. That's a conflict of interest. So a lot of them are messing with these dudes, and some of them are getting some kind of slack, but the majority, man, they go after them dudes with full vengeance, man. And don't let they see you have 2 or more kids or you been in and out of there. Oh, they try to come at you with daggers.
And like I said, if you think that it's worth the risk, I'm not saying every black dude is not getting married. That's not true. The thing is that you can't lie and say they don't have a reason not to.
Right.
Yeah. And that's true.
Yeah, because when it boils down, it depends on that woman. A whole lot. Hey, you ain't going
better. That's for sure.
You ain't going down that road by yourself.
You better talk to her family. Do all that before you put that ring on it.
Yeah. Spend some time with them. Stay with them. Hey, back in the day, you can court a woman and you can't stay together if you're not married, all that type of stuff. Man, that's dead. Majority of these women now,
they'll move into you the next few days if you're not paying attention.
Yeah. And then they start doing stuff like leaving stuff around the house to make other women know if you got somebody there.
Yeah, they're nesting.
Yeah.
Yep, they're nesting.
But see, that's the whole point, though. A lot of these women are not worth marrying. They're not.
Flat out.
Like I said, if I can cook better than you, that's a problem.
Yeah, that's a problem.
Especially if I'm not all that great of a cook in the first place.
And I've seen too many married guys who have to get stuff from McDonald's just because their wife don't cook for them.
Now I heard you say that. I would get a divorce that same day if I could. I'm not finna sit in this house and see you cook for the kids and cook for yourself and not cook for me. Point blank, that's their fault. Hey, if that happened one time, it's not gonna happen again. That's their fault. What man sits there and let a woman say, I'm not cooking for you, but I'll cook for the kids and me? Like, where's your parents? Where's your parents?
In other words, the thing is once you're in, is it cheaper to keep her?
Keep her.
Nah. I don't.
Well,
I don't care.
some, you know, if you like me, I'd rather drink muddy water and sleep on a hollow log. But some guys ain't built like that.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
told I told my wife, I was like, if me and you ever get a divorce, I was like, I don't have no problem taking care of the kids. I help you out from time to time. But if you try to drag me, I would go sell dope and go get me a job at McDonald's.
Mm.
I was like, I'm not going through that. I'm like, it comes to a point where you have to pick that certain person that's gonna have your best interest. I mean, and
Mm-hmm.
most men they just sit around, man. She did me like this. I'm looking at them like, really? I'm like, hey, that's you. I don't go through that, and I'm not gonna go through that. I
Right.
mean, that's the whole point of having somebody that's your partner, working with them.
Hey, BJ,
Like you say, vetting.
Valdez said he's backstage.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I got a spot. There he is.
What's good, Valdez?
What's up, Valdez?
What's going on, fellas?
Chilling.
Yeah, I wanted to tell Smooth, never live in the same state where your child support case is.
Okay.
Never.
Okay.
I mean, you can't escape. You cannot escape the child support, but there's little loopholes you can do when you're not in the same state.
Mm-hmm.
It makes it a little more difficult. So if you can live in a different state, don't live in that same state. Do not. That shit is that's the worst thing you can do is be in the same state with that child support case. And as far as if you're not employed right now, every week pay something on that shit.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care if it's $10. Pay something on it.
Mm-hmm.
That'll keep them off of your ass, like for real. The only way they'll jump on you is if you're paying like a minimum payment, like if you're paying like a few dollars every week, and then she go up there for an increase. That's the only way they're gonna haul you back in court. But if you're making payments on it and she doesn't go up there for an increase, then they're not gonna mess with you, because the way it works is the system gets triggered when you miss payments for a certain amount of time. And it says, okay, we got to bring this motherfucker back to court because he ain't making no payments. So, yeah, man, if I was you, I wouldn't even be in the same state, for real.
You back up, Smooth. Unmute yourself, Smooth.
You there?
You're muted, Smooth. Oh, there you go.
Yeah, can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I said that's why I'm getting the fuck up out of here.
Yeah. that would be wise.
I am dipping.
That would be wise.
Run for it, run. But I'm not running away though. Like I'm still gonna, make. I just wanted to know because I'm contemplating on moving, for other job opportunities and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I really just stayed around for my son, but now it's like now that this child support shit hit, guys, my last check, right? I get $434 $34.34 every week. My job. Now with the child support, I barely make 100. And
make
not
what?
only that,
You barely make how much?
284.
Breaking up.
Yeah, you paying arrears. Yeah. You're breaking up, Smooth.
Yeah, you're probably paying like your regular payment and arrears.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and my last check $80.
Yeah, but last check was $50.
188.
Okay, yeah. You paying arrears.
Your boys are bad.
Yeah.
It's fucked up.
Yeah.
Let me.
Yeah, you're boring bad.
Yeah. Art told him to go stand on 1 foot.
We stand on 1 foot, hold his finger in the air like an antenna.
Oh yeah, and what y'all was saying earlier, I didn't get to see the lawyer, but I do disagree with one thing that y'all said.
What's that?
She's not a lawyer. She's a professional paper pusher and a professional and a part-time chair sitter.
Yeah,
we were trying to be
I hear
nice.
what you're saying.
Oh man.
Oh
You
God.
ain't lying. You ain't lying.
Oh Lord.
You're figuring if they're having a problem with birth replacement, that they would be lightening these child support laws.
Mm-hmm.
No, they're not going to lighten them because they make too much money off of it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and basically that's the way they fund children, because they found out that women will not have as many children if they can't get paid from it. So if
There
you
you go,
you cut the child support and they're not going up the welfare or something like that, then the birth rate will continue to decline. It's actually going to go down even further.
Yeah,
That's true.
So that's like if they're getting they're not going to get rid of abortion and not give them child support. They're not going to do that. Women ain't going to stand for that one.
Oh no.
they're already losing their mind over the abortion thing.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. That's like that heartbeat bill. Part of that heartbeat bill is that new DNA test where they can actually, I don't know how accurate it, but Nicole said it was fairly accurate, where they can actually take your DNA and take a sample of her blood, right? And they can actually determine the paternity of the baby just from her blood, because the baby's DNA is mixed through her bloodstream, so they can actually pull it from her blood.
I don't even know if that's a good or a bad thing.
It might be good.
It's good for the state. It's bad for you because you'll have to pay child support before the baby's even born.
Well, yeah, I don't know. That's debatable because you might want to be paying that shit before the child's born. You might want to get a head start on that motherfucker.
Or you could actually prove that child is not yours.
Well, that's true. That is a positive thing, though. That's true.
Because you have a lot of these chicks are having babies and getting with these guys. They're like, what, 2 months pregnant? They fuck with a guy for 2 months. Like, oh, I'm pregnant.
Yeah, but see, what I'm trying to figure out is what they're gonna do to manipulate, like the.
Yeah, I hear you.
You feel what I'm saying?
I hear you.
That? You feel
you know, there's a big penis someplace. As soon as you bend over, it's coming.
Yeah,
somewhere. Yeah, I hear you on that.
Somebody's telling you to brace yourself in.
Incoming.
Hey, you be looking around, be washing your hands after you use the bathroom. Someone come up and say, "Hi."
Hey, you holding on to that table, talking about by the dock of the bay.
Oh, Lord.
That shit is horrible. What was the lawyer basically trying to say? What was she talking about?
Oh, she was talking mess about. Oh yeah, she was talking mess about coming on. That's how come I jumped on, because she talking mess about listening to YouTube and that stuff doesn't happen in real life, and you talking about the sisters and about women that have been down for you and that's not for real and stuff like that. I said, let me jump on here.
And then she recanted all
that stuff.
Oh no, tell them about the marriage part. About the marriage part.
Tell them about the kid part.
Tell about all her friends. Oh, she recanted all that.
You recanted all. I said, counselor, do you want to retract any of those statements that you said that you didn't know of any black female fuckery? And she talked about this. Well, she said the chick was white.
No, tell about the chicks that was swapping DNA with other chicks.
Oh, swapping DNA. Oh, tell me. Oh, the athlete. Oh, they did that. In fact, they did they actually did it was the first part of a TV series. I'm trying to think of the name of it, where these chicks were doing they lay with a hooker or something like that, and he used she give him a blowjob, and while he was asleep, she spit it in the cup, and she laid outside, and another guy valet would actually take the cup.
Yeah, I saw that.
I'm trying to. It was I can't remember the name of the series.
I can't remember it either, but I saw that.
Remember that? Yeah, so they do a lot of that.
Yeah, that
Holy
was some
shit.
bullshit. Like, yeah, they try it. They try. It's like they have this narrative in their head, and whenever somebody's having conversations about the gynocracy, they show up with that fucking bullshit. Like, oh, that doesn't happen. Like, get the fuck out of here.
And she out this one thing saying that a lot of guys down here said they were for civil rights so they could have access to white women. I said, are you freaking kidding me?
Get the fuck out of here. Full of shit.
And she was full of shit.
Throw a pastor.
And you know what I would have
Of
said?
all people, a pastor said it.
See, she would have been mad at me because I would have said, and what if they were? Been like, and what's your point? Been like, now wait a minute, counselor. In this day and age of tolerance, are you admitting that you're a bigot? Are you racist, counselor? To turn that fucking gynocratic bullshit right back on her.
And that was a damn lie. My mom was a mulatto. Her father was white and didn't marry my grandmother, but paid for the house that the grandmother lived in for the kids. The 3 kids that he fathered.
Yeah.
They had a family on the other side of town.
There's a whole bunch of that shit in American history.
A whole lot.
Whole lot of that shit.
And the crazy part is she tried to sidestep it, but like the men could have sex with the women, but the women couldn't have sex with the men. So they had to sneak and do it. And a lot, for the most part, a lot of the women that like what it was George Washington, his wife had all the slaves. So when her husband died, they were all property of her. And when he got remarried, and when he got married to her, all her slaves became his slaves.
You get them comfortable.
That's the bullshit they tell you.
Yeah, get them comfortable. They start telling stories, and they let their hair down a little bit, and all of a sudden say, I thought you didn't know about any of this black female fuckery.
If y'all was talking to me, I was talking to my boy the other day. I was like, the nerve of these motherfuckers to sit up here in this country, roughly, 35 to 45 years old, 50 years old, in a big city or equivalent, and then to sit up here and say, well, where I live in Atlanta, Georgia, or New York City, or Los Angeles, or Chicago, Illinois, or Detroit, Houston, Dallas, I didn't see any of that. If you don't get the entire hell out of here.
Talking about all the strags in Dallas, are you kidding me?
Thank you.
I tell you what though, with these hookers, if dudes keep hearing this damn story, when these dudes is dealing with women and they get a blowjob and that woman act like it's in her mouth, nigga go grab her by the throat.
Swallow it.
I want to see it. Open your mouth, motherfucker.
Like, what are you doing? Making sure your ass swallow.
There you go. Take this shot of cayenne pepper along with it, man.
Hold her nose and there.
Hold her nose and hold her throat so she swallows. Yeah, that's how it was.
Massage the throat.
You ain't shit, Valdez.
Hey, ever vigilant, trying to protect the interests of the brotherhood. Oh my God.
Believe it or not, that's why I used to when I used to fuck with girls when I was in high school, I take the condom with me.
Yeah.
I never leave in that place.
Hell yeah. That's Mando.
I ain't even play. And I was never taught that. I was just under the impression. I'm like, man, I'm not trying to have no kid by this chick. And I'm like, I've been hearing all those horror stories as a young guy when I was in high school. So like my thing was, nobody never told me to do it. I was like, man, let me start taking these things with me every time I leave. Have my little grocery bag in my pocket.
Ain't nobody had to tell you to do that, just like ain't nobody got to tell a tiger to chase a damn deer. That's just a black man's natural instinct.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Your ass for real. Shit. Well, second, BGS, I thought you had went live because somebody was I thought it was challenge day or some shit.
No, it wasn't challenge day. No, they said that was Art saying, "Oh, you should do an after party just for old times' sake." All right. I don't want to. No, but she was hilarious. I said she missed her call and she should have been a comedian because she was funny as hell.
Yeah.
Oh man, I missed that shit. You said it was on Art
New Styles. Yeah,
New Style.
yeah.
I need to go back and listen.
Oh yeah, it was, especially toward like the last hour or so. When I came on, she started backtracking. She was funny as hell. I said, "You just gave a case for all these men not to get married."
and she wouldn't even tell you how it would be a benefit. It was always a benefit to her, never to the man.
Yeah.
The women cook. I'm like, the women cook. I said, men cook. Well, the women take care of this, and then what she said about a mother, you can get a mother or another mother. I'm like, huh? I'm like, you're not making this something.
You know what's wild that they don't realize, right? So outside of the typical strag, right, the educated strag, and they don't realize that. Look, when you come in here and you speak like that, and we easily pick it apart, you're only making it easier for people to not believe what the hell it is you're saying. You're only supporting it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then what was the one time she said on why come guys can't change tires, and I was like, well, why is your daughter hanging around a guy that can't change tires?
There you go.
See, here's the thing. She said that her daughter couldn't find a guy that could change a tire.
No. Her daughter was her daughter had a boyfriend, and the boyfriend was over the house, and she had a flat tire, and she asked her daughter's boyfriend could he change the tire, and he said Miss such and such, I don't know how to change a tire, and she said she was shocked. I said, well, that's the way y'all raising them now.
There you go. Yeah. Like you have to be taught.
Yeah, I would have told her shit. She should have changed her own fucking tire.
hey, believe it or not, I did AAA roadside. There was this lady had on a skirt. She was a lawyer, and she was doing some paperwork for a house and everything. Man, so I came up on her. She had on a skirt, had the car jacked up and everything. And she was like, the only reason I called you guys because my tools wasn't working. Because the crazy thing with a lot of new cars, that the actual tools that actually take the tires off, a lot of them are sometimes big or small. But I'm talking about she had the car jacked up, had the blocks on the back, everything, had the little key ready to take it apart. She's like, it just won't turn. And I was like, you sure? And then she looking at me like, well, I know how to change a tire. I'm like, shit, I know, I can see. Like she had the skirt on and she was squatting down, everything, and heels on. That was the crazy part. She put her heels back on, but I was like,
that's the result. Man.
That's the result of what it's just like what BGS said. That's the result of what they have to do when they run around here screaming they don't need no man.
There you go.
And she told me, she said her dad basically put her in a situation like same thing I told about my great grandma. She did me like that. She was like, look, you come learn how to cook. She's like, because if you get a fine girl, you got to make that decision to where do you want to keep her or do you want to go ahead and just say, fuck it, you don't want to deal with her. But either way, you got to eat, so come learn how to cook.
Facts.
Yep, we got to get it's becoming androgynous as far as how you train men and women now. Fortunately, there are no more roles.
Like it is, like I told about my son. I made him go look on YouTube. I said, dude, you cannot tell me that you can't change a tire. You can't damn near do nothing easy. I was like, you guys got the whole Encyclopedia Britannica, all that stuff we used to go to the library for in your hand. Yep.
They ain't even got to read nothing. They can just go to a YouTube video and
exactly. Yep. And I'm like, all these people making this one guy, he make YouTube videos of everything simple. How to glue a wood piece broke off your chair, how to clean a pot. And I'm like, dude, he got like millions of views of just doing simple stuff because he said, he's like, he did a video. He's like, yeah, you know, the reason I became famous on YouTube because I wondered, like, this is the average thing that these young kids can't do. So I just make simple videos and boom, there it goes. Get millions of hits.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, simple everyday stuff that you would think that everybody should know, like changing a tire.
E-
Yeah.
Even some of the stuff you would deem more difficult. I had to replace a side mirror on a Chevy Tahoe. I had to take the entire door panel off to replace the side mirror when I ordered
Yeah.
it. I never did anything like that. Jump right on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Knock that shit out in like 30, 35 minutes.
Yeah.
Hey.
It's not that hard once you know how to do it.
Yeah, I ain't gonna tell you no lie. I'm not doing none of that shit.
No more, huh? No more, huh?
No more.
Hey.
I used to have to
Dude.
work on everything I had. I'm not. If I can find somebody I can pay a little something to do it, I ain't doing that shit.
So
Believe
no
it
more,
or
no
not.
more dirty fingernails, huh?
Hell no. No more of that grease monkey shit.
No more busted knuckles.
Oh man.
Hey.
A dirty back.
I know what that is.
Getting on underneath that floor, taking that transmission out.
Ain't nothing worse than when you got to get up under that damn car and it's raining outside.
Oh,
Ooh,
or cold, or ice cold.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
you ever had to do a Catalan converter?
Oh, I did.
Let me tell you something, Art. Fuck Cadillac converters.
You have to take the whole you got to take the tailpipe out, and basically that has to be cut out, doesn't it? You can't just take it out.
Nah,
No,
you can. You can.
Oh, really?
It's too good. Yeah, you can do it. The ones that you cut out are the universal ones.
Okay.
You can cut it out and get a universal connector and weld it in, or they have brass like clips that actually you can lock them in, and or you can just do it the regular. Just get a one manufactured from the dealer, and it fits perfect. All you gotta do is just change the bolts out, put them back in. There you go.
There you go.
All right.
I did that with mine. I ended up having to take the transmission bar because I had two Cadillac converters. So I had to take the transmission bar down, and they was like, "Don't let the transmission drop." So I'm under my car, jack my car up, have two jacks because I didn't have a big enough hydraulic jack. So I had two jacks up there with a jack stand. I tell my brother, I say, this is my older brother now. I say, hey man, I'm about to drop this bar down now. I say, don't touch nothing. He like, all right. 5 minutes later, I look up. All of a sudden, I see the damn jack slapping me in the mouth. I thought I lost a tooth, man. I was mad as hell. I told my brother, don't do nothing. This fool like, why is this loose? And he goes to grab the bar, the same bar I just took a loose. And I'm trying to pull it down, but it's wedged in there. Man, I was so mad. Then my the actual transmission dropped probably like almost 2 or 3 centimeters.
Oh shit.
I was so mad, but I jumped in that mug. I ain't had no problem with it since I did it about 2 years ago, but I was mad as hell.
Yeah, you can't be letting just anybody help you. Like for instance, my uncle one time he was helping my one of my older cousins, just about his age. He was helping him do something to the car, and he had jacked the car up. And my cousin is prone to have bad luck and shit. He told me, he said, "Look, I gotta go in the house to grab something real quick. You stay the hell away from this car till I come back out here." Some people, you gotta tell them that for real, like, because they'll do some goofy shit. And I tell you something about a Cadillac converter. My niece called me one day on some, hey uncle, can you help me with my car? I said, what's wrong with your car? She said, they told me that I need a Cadillac converter. I said, yeah, you might as well go ahead and get rid of that car. I'm not putting no Cadillac converter on nothing.
That is a dirty job.
It's a dirty job,
man. You know what? Here's the thing about working on cars that most people that never work on cars realize. Sometimes you could have the simplest thing to do, like putting in a water pump.
Oh God. Yeah.
And you think, okay, this shit is, simple, in and out or whatever. And it always be one little stupid thing that ends up making the job way more difficult than it has to be.
Yep.
And that shit is the most annoying shit in the world, man. If there's one thing I can't stand working on freaking cars, man.
Shit, I got a V6, and I had to take out the front fans just to take out my alternator. And where the bolt was to hold those front fans were underneath the car. So I had to jack the car up, take out like 3 bolts, just so I could take those 2 fans out, just to change the alternator out. And It was like stupid shit.
Oh, it's some crazy. My friend, I went over his house this weekend to help him put some power steering fluid in his car.
Mhm.
Guess what a power steering pump and all that was at?
Probably in the back end.
Up under the car where the passenger side rear wheel at. Had to take the tire off, take all the rippets out, and put the power steering fluid up under it. I was like, why did they make this? It was in a Chrysler 300 or 2012.
Oh yeah. Chrysler. They got all kind of crazy.
Yeah, I had to help my cousin with his mother's car, and we was trying to find the battery. Do you know we had to jack the car up because the battery was right near the tire?
Yeah, I seen that.
That's a Chrysler because I had a.
I was like, are you kidding me?
My Dodge Stratus.
It was actually the convertible Sebring. Yeah. Where the battery is actually in the wheel well.
Yep.
I had to take one of my tires off and the front and on the wall just so I can get to my starter.
Yeah.
It was stupid shit.
Yeah, you have to take the fender off to get to the battery.
Yep.
You know why they do that shit, right?
Why?
You take it to
The dealer.
Okay.
Yeah, fuck that. I'm doing it. I bought everything myself. I mean, bought the damn the special wrenches you need to do to change out your brake lines.
See, that don't surprise me, Art, because you a hard-headed motherfucker.
hey, Valdez, I wear that with a badge of honor, my nigga.
Let me tell you why I gave up on all of that shit.
Hey, Art.
Worse than when you got a freaking radiator that's leaking, right? And you go and first thing you do is you try to be fucking quick and you go get you some of that liquid. What is that shit you pour in there?
Stop leak.
Yeah.
That's where it
You
works.
pour that bullshit in there. That don't work. Then you find a leak. And this is what my uncle used to do. What's that putty called that you get from the advanced?
Bondo. JB Weld. JB
Weld, nigga. I remember I had a Honda Accord. I had that motherfucking radiator packed down with JB Weld, nigga.
Yeah.
No matter how much I put that shit, like, and don't get it twisted. It won't like I just put it up there. I done fucking drained the radiator, sanded the shit down so it's smooth. Put the JB Weld on there, let it dry. Put the water in there, and it's still goddamn leaking. And
still leak. Yeah.
My uncle looking like, boy, just go get a radiator.
Yeah.
I'm like, God damn it.
The crazy part, I had what was the thing for the back of my pickup truck? That's like my pickup truck, everything was open so I can work on it, not a problem. Back where the damn water pump at, I had a washer, $10 washer. Fucking parted, broke, whatever. It started leaking. Don't you know that shit cost me $1,000 just to fix that $10 washer?
Yeah.
They had to take everything out from the front. And then that's the good part is that was the cheapest I got it. But while the guy was in there, I know the guy, so he changed out my water pump, changed out all the little necessary shit, my damn timing chain, and then charged me nothing extra because I went and got all the parts, gave it to him, and he was like, I got to take all that off anyway, so I ain't gonna charge you nothing for it. But I'm like $1,000 for that $10 damn washer. And I was so pissed off because I didn't want to take all that shit off because when I looked at the YouTube video, the dude was like, oh, this probably is going to take you, if you know what you're doing, about 6 hours. I was like, okay, so I'm going to add
that timing belt
3-4 hours.
And I'm going to tell you this right now. Don't let some of these backyard mechanics do your damn timing belt because some of them don't know what the fuck they doing.
They'll fuck around. And what is that shit called when it looks like it's right, but it's they turn it. You got
to turn it top dead center.
But it's at a different, it's the other way. It's a way that you can do it where it seems like it's right, but it's not. I forgot what my pops call that shit, but you can turn that timing belt you can turn the engine a certain way and it'll look like it's right, but then you crank that motherfucker up and that shit ain't gonna run right.
because what you're supposed to do is the mechanic way is like you make marks on the belt.
Yeah.
The little white marks, so that way you know where everything lines up. Now, if you don't do that, what you're supposed to do is turn your crank top dead center between the mark on the engine, and every single pulley in there needs to be at a certain point because your engine has to be ran on timing, so everything has to time together. And if you don't do that, you will fuck up your heads.
That's what it is. Judge and Black Scorpion said it's 180 degrees out of sync. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Like, you can do that shit and fuck it up. Goddamn, Judge. See, Judge is a handy motherfucker. I got a new respect for Judge.
Hey, jack of all trades.
Hell yeah, I got a new respect for him, man.
Yeah,
Still loud, motherfucker. But
I just use the timing marks. I just said fuck it out.
Yeah, I don't play with that. When it comes to that, I'll go ahead and take it to the shop.
Yeah, but see, the only problem with you're not always able to use the timing marks because sometimes that motherfucker break while you driving.
Well, if it breaks while you're driving, you gotta get a whole new engine anyway. Because really, what you're supposed to do, you're supposed to change your time belt every 100,000 miles.
Yeah, well, sometimes every once in a while you'll have that fucking issue with that motherfucker break and you try to salvage the shit. You feel what I'm saying? But
there ain't no salvaging that. You gotta my on the car I'm about to give my nephew. My dad had it. He drove that car, and then the time belt broke. He had to change out the whole entire heads of that engine. I'm talking about he had to change out everything.
Well, see, the thing about it is, it still trust me, Art. I'm telling you, there's look. I'm on some nigga shit. Sometimes,
okay.
But see, it depends on how it break. You feel what I'm saying? It depends on how that motherfucker break. Because if it break and you like really driving that motherfucker, it'll bend the fucking valves and shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a way you can, because I've had one break on me and it didn't fuck the engine up because of the way the shit happened. But I was out there trying to fucking fix that shit by my damn self and shit, and I had never even changed the timing belt before. And like, I'm on the phone with my pops, he trying to explain the shit to me or whatever.
Yeah.
That's when I found out about that 180 degrees, because that's what the fuck I did. I messed up and shit. I ended up having to get rid of that joint.
Now, I will tell you on some of these newer cars is that they have an ignition. Well, not a time change, it's an ignition switch. It's like a little blade that goes into this little socket, and each time it scrapes it, it fires the spark plugs. See, when my dad had it changed, the guy who he took it to did not change the other belt, which is for the water pump, and it turns that little sprocket that makes the spark plugs fire. So when I was driving on the highway, my car wouldn't have no power. So I thought maybe the time belt broke. What happened was, since that belt rotted out that he did not change, and it took chunks out of my time belt, and it fucked up that sensor. So sometimes if that sensor goes bad, it's inside that motor. See, that's why when they go in there, just go ahead and buy everything. Buy the belt, buy the pulleys, buy the water pump, buy the sensors that's already in there, so that way you only do it one time and then that's it.
Yeah, that's like
when you do your timing belt, always do this is the thing. When you do your timing belt, you always do your water pump. On most cars nowadays, your water pump is underneath your timing belt.
Yeah.
So basically, your water pump usually doesn't have to be changed to about 100,000 miles. So when you do your timing belt, always pay the 60, 70 bucks more, do the water pump while you're at it. Like what he's talking about, I believe you're talking about the coil. As you say, Dre do everything, but the only reason why Dre do everything, I hate to say, as you know, I have to hide the money. So that's remember, like I said, y'all motherfuckers, remember I tell everybody how broke I am. That's why you gotta hide the money. The only bad thing about hiding the money, that's why we telling these niggas, look, the bad thing is like this. You might have money, but you can't spend it. One of the things is this: don't never get caught spending no more money than you make. Because then the fact is, a lot of times they can hit you on that. Because they can be like, this motherfucker say he make this amount of money, but he bought this, that, and the other. And the child support people say, well, we supposed to figure it off this, but we believe your ass making more money out, so we gonna charge you anyway. And that's why I be telling people like, they go off your income. Nigga, the motherfuckers can charge you whatever the fuck they want. Don't
Yeah,
believe that shit.
you
If
gotta
the
be
judge want to be a fucking asshole, they can charge you higher than. Oh no, nigga, you supposed to be making way more money than that.
yeah.
Not according to the lady lawyer.
They gave me the fucking they gave me the minimum payment and I was unemployed. Like matter of fact, no, he didn't. He was supposed to give me the minimum payment, but what he did was he said at the time my case was in Virginia, but I was living in Raleigh. So he said, "Where do you live?" I said, "Raleigh." He said, the average income for Raleigh is XYZ. So he set that shit for the average income the average income for somebody that, at my education level, even though I was fucking unemployed. I said, motherfucker.
That's why everybody sit there and think that they follow the rules. Just because the motherfucker, here's the question now. You should already know. That's why I can't stand when these women or these men get on here. They supposed to do that. Nigga, last time I checked, nigga, if they supposed to let your ass out in 24 hours, but I know motherfuckers sitting in jail 2 months later.
Yeah.
They're supposed to do that shit. I mean, that's the beautiful thing. I ain't gonna lie. I should probably be doing a show like on For Life where they talk about the beautiful thing about this child support thing and me being in and out of the process, in and out of the system. I've been processed in and out at least 20 times on the bullshit.
I believe
that now, right? Now, on top of that, I have had so many people that you meet in jail. So after some people, you be like, oh, this motherfucker full of shit. Some motherfuckers you meet and you be like, oh, okay. This motherfucker cool. I know people who have sat there 2-3 months, ain't been to trial, ain't got no thing. They keep coming at them, telling them, look, man, just take a plea.
Child support?
No, not for child support, but like for other cases. Like, remember, it was one guy. I'm going to try to get him on the show. He's here in Cleveland. He had got out of jail, but he was my cellie. He was in jail. Basically, this is what happened. A woman said that he robbed her, him and his cousin. But basically, she was a prostitute. His cousin had sex with her, but he stayed down in the car. So the prostitute said she wanted $200 after sex instead of one. He said, no, nigga, I'm going to give you one just like we said. She said, no. So she called the police. She couldn't say the motherfucker didn't pay me enough money. So she said they tried to rob him. So he sat in jail, him and his cousin. His cousin said, look, he didn't have sex. No, I paid the one for sex. They sat in jail. They both of them in jail. They tried to say that they tried to lie to him and kept like continuing this case. And he was there like, man, they told me if I just take this plea, I can be out in 14 months. I'm like, they done continued his case 5 times. I'm looking at his paperwork. I'm just reading it. And I told him, he was like, yeah, man, I'm just going to go up here and take this plea. I'm like, no, man, don't do that. Don't do that. He was like, why? I said, man, if they keep continuing your case, that means they ain't got shit on you. And he said, well, man, they telling me that if I do worst case, I can do 3 years. I said, listen, dude, I did the same bullshit with my thing. That's how I got my felony 20 years ago. I'm older than you. I'm letting you know. If the motherfuckers keep doing that, they probably ain't got shit on you. And you said this was a traveling prostitute. They're probably gone anyway. That's the reason why they keep pushing you to take this plea. So we stayed in touch after I got out of jail. 3 weeks later, he went to court again, dropped the charges because it was one they found out it was a lie. He was like, man, I was about to sign the paperwork. I'd have been in jail still now if I wouldn't have listened to you. But they do that to a lot of people. It's some people that's been supposed to be released on Monday. They still sitting there on Friday. So do not believe that shit. It's been time. I ain't even gonna lie. Remember, I told you guys, I thought I was looking at some time. And all of a sudden, I got out. I was supposed to be released on Thursday. I got released Tuesday. So, I mean, they fuck with some people. If they want to fuck with you, they can fuck with you. If they don't want to fuck with you, they can't. You pay the right. I mean, you pay the right money to the right people. Remember, I told you I was sentenced on my case 20 years ago. I was sentenced, put away, locked up. I slipped a lawyer $5,000 after being in jail 9 days. They pulled me out of the cell. I don't go to court. I go straight to the judge's chambers. I'm sitting there, but I get there. My mom's sitting there. The judge and the lawyer sitting there. They're sitting there just talking, chopping it up. I sign some paperwork and I walk away. So, and I think about it, I was already sentenced, supposed to do 6 months in jail, sentenced, everything written out, and they just pulled me out 9 days later. I paid $5,000 to the guy, and all of a sudden, I don't go to court. I don't go to anything. I go straight to the judge's chambers, and the motherfuckers cut me free.
Let me tell you something. If you want to see a place where the angry man is the most behaved motherfucker on earth is when I'm in jail, nigga. Cause I know they can fuck with you. Cause I've seen that shit too where they be fucking with niggas. That's why when I go in that motherfucker, nigga, I be on my best fucking behavior, nigga. I don't be talking. Cause like the niggas that go in there and be talking all that Billy bad ass shit, they be
They
like,
lose your paperwork.
they be like, word, okay, you want to talk that shit? We got a way to calm your ass down. You be in that motherfucker for a week, be sitting over there in the corner, shaking in the fetal position, crying like, why they won't let me go to court? Somebody
Hey, you
call
know,
Jesse Jackson.
I had a traffic warrant when I was young, right? And I got arrested for that. Nigga, I have been to jail one time, and that was that one time, and that shit was for less than a day. When I saw that bullshit that went on in there, nigga, I said never again. I never fucking been back. What these damn SWAT officers? There was a guy through the slot box trying to ask him a question. This motherfucker booted the goddamn slot box and almost caught his fucking hand. I'm like, nigga, no. They made you take your fucking clothes off. I'm here in a goddamn t-shirt and some goddamn security guard slacks. I said, nigga, you out your fucking mind.
Oh, nigga, that was light. I know a dude that was in that motherfucker that was playing around with one of those fucking COs, right? That, you know, that they were cool and shit. He had been in there a while. So he was playing around with the CO and he took the CO's glasses off. And another CO saw that shit. And in the state of Virginia, if you assault a fucking correctional officer, that's automatic 5 years. And they seen that shit and they gave that nigga 5 years for that shit.
They get paid off of that shit. When you locked up, man, they get paid for that shit, man.
Well, this is my thing. Now, here's the thing right here. Now, this is how you know that the system is all fucked up. Because basically, the women make these bullshit laws and all like this. If they really, you know, how they talk about the problem now, the private prisons, they're not up to the numbers that they want. They don't have enough people. If they really wanted to just put butts in the chairs, all they have to do is start giving these women time on these DV charges. Because these women out here, they get more domestic violence charges than we do now.
Oh yeah, but you know they got to keep
up
the facade.
Never go to jail for it.
Yeah, but
they got to keep up the facade. You can't let the public know that.
You
can't let them know that it's damn near
they ain't
half
gonna do
and
that
half.
because they ain't gonna do the work that the black man do in the prison.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, angry man, I wish you would have been there. I was on Game Changer show 2 nights ago. I'm sitting up here. You can see me. I'm in the house working on flooring. Police come to the house, beating on the door. Boom, 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 boom. I come to the door. Cops at the house. I'm like, did I get swatted or something while I'm at that damn house? Go look that show up. You'll see. At least everybody stop watching. They're like, what? They got the cops over there on them. They're like, oh, because the cop's like, I want to see your ID. Nigga, I ain't showing you shit. They was like, damn, man. He said, I didn't think Dre was like that. Dre. No, I'm like, I ain't showing you nothing. You already said that you were standing outside the house and you didn't hear nothing. So I'm not showing you nothing.
Oh, nigga, I'm the baddest motherfucker in the world when I'm just dealing with them out here on the street.
Yeah.
This motherfucker put them cuffs on me. I'll be sitting in the back of the car like, officer, I think we may have gotten off on the wrong foot.
Allow me to reintroduce myself.
What happened was,
hey, I'm BGS. Put me down. I gotta go to work. But I'll holler at you guys later.
All right. I'm serious. I've been so polite to the police that they've arrested me before without even putting cuffs on me. Just got in the back of the car, like, yeah, let's go.
You never know what's gonna happen to you, man. You never know what's gonna happen to you, man.
Let's start over. My name is Valdez.
Exactly.
I got arrested in Mexico, right? I got arrested in Mexico, nigga. I swear I thought I was gonna die. I was like, they taking me out to the middle of the desert, nigga, and finna bury me. We got into a fight out there. This is when I was still in the military, Mexico.
Dr. Sebi.
Right? So
but you can bribe them in Mexico.
Nighttime. No, we was in the military. We was coming from this nightclub, and we got into a scrap with a bunch of Mexicans down there.
Oh,
when
shit.
I tell you it was this black broad in the club and shit, I was trying to holler at any goddamn way. I saw her, started walking with her back through the gate. I tried to play that shit off. They're like, nah, nigga, come on with us. Nigga, you know I'm the only one got arrested. It's like 12 or 13 of us. I'm the only one in fucking jail. They took my ass to the goddamn police station, and I'm sitting here like, oh shit, nigga, this Mexico. Most of what way we got here is dirt roads. I'm like, I'm dying tonight. Nigga, they came and got me. They put me in a fucking Ford Ranger, nigga. It was one on each side. I was like, this thing ain't got. It ain't even got police markings on the goddamn car. I'm like, nigga, this is the car they buried motherfuckers in right here. Oh,
like, I ain't gonna make it home.
Nigga, I was like, oh man. They took me back to that fucking border, man, and luckily my boys was still there waiting for me. Boy, I wanted to drop to my knees and kiss U.S. territory, fall to the ground like I just.
Hey man,
Hey, they tell you a whole lot of horror stories about Mexico when you stay. I was in Yuma, Arizona. We were right next to the border. You constantly hearing horror stories.
I tell you what, there ain't nothing better. There ain't no feeling more glorious, nigga, than when they process your ass out, when they hit that button and open that door, nigga.
No, Angry Man. What about before they process your ass out when they do the statewide, countrywide record check? You be like, man, I hope I ain't got a ticket somewhere.
Oh yeah, that's
hey.
Nigga, when
they
when
like
they
on Half Baked when Dave Chappelle said free.
Yeah. When they coming in, they call your name. You know, they getting ready to pass around the lunch and shit. And niggas be like, hey man, you want your lunch? I'll be like, nah, nigga, you can have that shit.
You give them all your commissary. Give them all your commissary when you leave. But I ain't gonna lie, what I do is now I make sure that I always have a couple of dollars on me. Because it seems like every time I used to get picked up for child support, it's like by the day I go in, the next day be commissary day. And I ain't got no time for somebody to come down there and put money on my books.
Mm-hmm.
Every time. Like I said, I told you, I've been processed for the child support at least. I done been in and out of jail at probably about 20 times over the child support shit. So I can tell you guys the inner workings of that shit.
Man, I think the last time I went in there, it was back in 2016. I still had that warrant. So I went in there, you know, to get that shit cleared up. I go in that motherfucker, man. Yeah, that shit is the most depressing shit in the world. There was a dude in there, a little young dude that was like 19. And he was in there because he had family in VA, but he was originally from New York. So they had robbed somebody up in New York and stole somebody's cell phone or some shit.
Wow. Okay.
Damn.
And he had gotten away with the shit, or at least he thought he had gotten away with the shit. He had came down to Virginia to stay at his grandmother's house, I guess for them, his mom trying to get him out, keep him out of trouble. And he comes down here and does some shit. And they lock him up in there. And he's sitting there telling me this whole situation. And he's like, man, you know, I gotta do. He's like, shit, I feel like they're gonna convict me here and I'm gonna have to do some time here. And then when I get finished with that, I gotta go back up. They're supposed to be coming to get me. Like they was gonna come and get his ass and take him up to New York so he could face that fucking robbery charge in New York too. And this is a dude like 19. I'm sitting there looking at, because he's asking me, like, even though he's young, he hasn't really gotten in a lot of trouble. So he's telling me what his charges are, because that's what niggas do in jail. They'll show you their little paperwork and be telling you what their charges are, and they be like, what you think they gonna give me? And I'm just listening like, nigga. I didn't even want to break the little dude's heart. I was like, look, man, you just gonna have to fight this shit. But I'm sitting there thinking to myself, nigga, this VA and you tried to rob somebody, nigga.
Oh yeah.
It's a rap, nigga. Like,
okay. When you was in there, did you ever see like people like, because this is one of the things I see. I see how some motherfuckers just get reamed. Like like for pro PV violations and shit. Like I was sitting up there last time I went, not the time I got out here where I got hit on the bike. Cause remember y'all was there when I got hit. You be like, damn, got the cops at the hospital and shit.
Yeah.
But the time before I went on a PV violation, I had a dirty urine. I had alcohol in my system. You're not even allowed to drink alcohol when you're on probation, child support here in Ohio. So you have a beer, that's violation. Okay, I'm sitting up here. I got a violation. I'm like, they can give you as much as 6 months. I'm sitting up here. This white dude sitting up here. He's talking about, well, This like my 6th violation in 2 months.
Mm.
Like, how the fuck you been in and out 6 times in 2 months and these motherfuckers ain't locked your ass up? If y'all don't motherfuckers realize that that's white privilege, you've been in and out of jail 6 times in less than 2 months.
Yeah.
That's why I be telling. I was like, y'all motherfuckers don't realize privilege.
Shit, I was
What it is. I said, ain't no fucking way a nigga get out 6 times in 2 months.
Shit, I was in a holding cell with a fucking white dude that had a whole 8-ball in his pocket.
Damn.
He had forgot it was in his pocket, and they had brought him in. I guess they hadn't frisked him well enough.
Wait a minute. How did he slap you and cuss, put you in the car without frisking you?
That motherfucker was in there with a whole
White
8-ball BG.
Nah, man. No, man. They allowed that to go in there.
I swear to God, like he reached in his pocket because he's an old country white boy, and he was in there like I was there for like a fucking marijuana charge, and like I pled guilty to this shit, and they wanted me to pay the fine right then, but I didn't have the money on me, so they was ready to lock me the fuck up, right? So I go in there, and the white boy's in there, and there's a couple other black dudes in there, and the white boy, he's over there talking and shit, trying to be cool, and he reached in his pocket. He said, "Oh shit, I forgot." Matter of fact, that's how he got in there with it, because he was in court.
Okay.
What they was doing was, if you was in court that day and you had a fine and you didn't pay it, they'd be like, "Yeah, come over here and sit down," and they'd have you sit over on the side, and then they would take you back to the holding cell or whatever. Then they would come in.
Oh, okay.
And that stupid motherfucker had that damn 8-ball on him. And like soon as he reached in his pocket and pulled it out, I was like, oh shit. Every nigga in there was like, yo, stay your ass on that side of the cell. Swear come over here, we're fucking you up. You know what I'm saying? The CO came in there and shit and snatched him up and shit. And shit, I ain't no telling how much time he got for that shit.
I heard a nigga.
Why you flush it down the toilet?
Why you pull it out of his pocket?
Because he was high. That motherfucker was high as a goddamn kite. You feel me? That motherfucker didn't know what the fuck was going on.
I heard a nigga get his whole butthole savaged in face, nigga. Oh God, nigga. That nigga was screaming.
Horrible.
That nigga got his lunch took every day. This white boy used to get his butthole obliterated, nigga, every day, nigga. You would hear this nigga. You feel me? Because we on tiers, and I was at the end of the tier, and this nigga was on the other end of the tier, like in the first door on the end of the tier by the stairs, or the upper tier. And man, this nigga used to get fucked by this nigga name. I mean, we used to call him Bobby Brown, but that wasn't his real name. He just looked like Bobby Brown, so we'd be like, Bobby Brown. This nigga be like, what up? You feel me? This nigga be on some other shit. This nigga used to savage this nigga butthole something serious, and then one day, this nigga, I guess he pissed off some of the guards and shit. And we in the octagon, which means you got in the ground, so it's like a pillar going straight through the ground. Where that's the guard tower. But it's an octagon, so for every side of that, it's a block. So we in this block, this nigga on some shit where, he pissed off one of the guards. This nigga get thrown back into his shit, and he missed sack. Sack is like the best meal of the day because it's like it's an actual like cold cut sandwich. And niggas get the Kool-Aid and the oatmeal cookie with it. Niggas be and shit. So this nigga get thrown back into his cell.
Nigga, that's a delicacy.
I know, that's it. Yeah, nigga, look, I done came up off them Kool-Aid packs, nigga.
What about them damn donuts, man?
Oh God, look, nigga, I was getting it. So they throw this nigga back into this nigga cell and shit, and this nigga's in his cell, and this nigga's so mad because for the first time, that nigga bitch, the white boy who was his roomie, you feel me, his cellie, this nigga got to eat. This nigga, I think that pissed him off. I think the fact that he didn't get to eat pissed him off. I think the fact that they threw this nigga lunch, like the guard, when they sent that nigga back up to his shit, they threw his lunch to all of us. So it was a bunch of niggas who ran over there trying to like get the oatmeal cookie out that bitch and all that shit, right? So this nigga in the fucking jail cell, or he in the cell, you know, he locked up for all of us. You know, we all go back into the cell. When we all get locked down, this nigga this nigga broke the sprinkler. So the sprinkler, look, this nigga broke the sprinkler, and I guess the sprinkler shoot out water so fucking fast that even though you got that space under the door, the water rose like a motherfucker in his cell. And we see like 8 guards come in. We like, what the fuck? Because we all looking through the slit, like looking through the little window, like everybody. And these niggas came in and tased this nigga while he was in the water, yo.
Wow.
Yeah, because the water had to be at least like on his shin. The way that shit was pouring, because I'm telling you, we was on the top tier. And this nigga broke the sprinkler, and he was the cell right by the stairs. So you got water pouring down the stairs. You know what I'm saying? Like it was that bad. And so
the prisons got high water pressure in prison buildings anyway. That's why. Because they keep the water running all the time.
These niggas came, grabbed him out of that bitch, and before they threw his ass out, like to another cell, they slammed that nigga face up against the exit, like the door that gets you to the area that surrounds like the pillar, the tower. So they pressed that nigga up against that bitch, bust his whole shit open. Yeah, they fucked him up. And there was a bunch of niggas who did that. This is after they tased, and they threw it. They charged. I heard they charged that nigga with destruction of government property and a bunch of other shit.
And see, that's the reason why I can't. Nobody that's never been in jail or locked up tell me nothing about the plight of men. I don't give a shit. Nobody. If you've never been locked up, you have absolutely no earthly idea how much you ain't shit.
Okay, I got a question for the people locked up.
You ain't shit, nigga. As soon as you get in there, they're gonna make sure you understand before you even get in a cell, nigga. You ain't shit.
Nigga, I got body slammed for asking for a washcloth because them niggas, when I first came in the Clay Code, the guard came in, and you know, he just doing his shit, sticking his chest out. I'm like, yo, and the thing is, he left. He ended up coming back, but I tore off a piece, like a square of the corner of the sheet of my bed. I got body slammed. And at the time, I'm a little nigga. I'm like 120.
I got choked up for tying my motherfucking wife beater around my head, nigga.
Why you messing with them big girls, Grinch, if you're a little nigga?
You messing with big bitches, bro. Stop blaspheming my name.
You know I had to get you, man.
You know how you tie the wife beater around your head, kind of like the way a fucking do-rag is? Fucking CEO talking about some, hey man, you can't do that. Say, man, why the fuck not? I'm already in jail. Man, that nigga came in there, man. I'm talking about that nigga hearing me up. I'm like, God damn, you strong.
I got a question for the people in jail. What's worse? What's worse, being in jail or listening to the, like, you know how you just sitting there and not really talking to motherfuckers, but hearing these dumbass nigga stories? I think that like when you around all these ignorant ass motherfuckers, it just make me want to commit suicide just being around these.
I find the stories.
You imagine like being in a room full of
I find the stories entertaining than a mother. Like the way niggas come in there, and it's always one nigga that's a kingpin fucking drug lord, and he's waiting on his bitches to bail him out of jail, nigga. There's always one nigga like that.
Like Eddie Murphy, huh? Like in Trading Places.
Worse. Times worse. That nigga's on some, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, man, you know, I be doing my thing out there. Y'all heard about me, right? My name, Little, he'll say some name and shit. Niggas,
Little Smojo, nigga.
Niggas be looking like, nigga, ain't nobody heard of you.
But nigga, like, I don't know. The niggas I had a real ass block. So when I was in, like, when I was younger, I didn't get really put into, they had to put me in, like, I was in big boy jail, but they put me in a joint by myself, like a holding cell by myself. When I got a little bit older, it was like, I ain't gonna lie. I ain't had no flexing. I had some weirdo ass niggas in my shit, but I ain't have no like no capping. But that's cause like, man, you should have seen the niggas in my block. Like these niggas, one nigga was missing an eye. Like I ain't gonna lie, these niggas really took me under their wing when I went. That's why like I don't got the jail story where it's like, you know, niggas was because a nigga tried me, and the thing is, because I wasn't appropriated to them circumstances because I'm still green and shit. Them niggas was on some shit where niggas just handled it for me off rip. Like violence broke out off rip. And then they told me, like, you feel me? Like niggas was like, look, you gotta understand this is what it is, but you shouldn't even have to deal with this no more because of XYZ. Niggas really schooled me. Niggas got me laced up before I left.
Like
Had them big girls sending you commentary.
Yeah, I never had to do no long ass bid, but every time I went in there, it was always, I don't know, niggas always showed me love for some reason. Cause I would always end up in there and know somebody in that motherfucker, which I've really found disturbing. I said it one day. I was like, yo, why is it every time I get locked up in the jail, I fucking know somebody?
You should have seen the last time I went.
Birds of a feather, man.
Nigga, the last time I went, I seen niggas I ain't seen. I thought these niggas had moved. I ain't seen some of these niggas. Like
Yeah, we moved all right.
I was like, niggas was like, oh, what up, nigga? You from Garden Walk, huh? I say, yeah, I'm at the end and sent, and blase. And the niggas was on some shit like, oh, what's good? Like I seen two niggas I knew in that bitch. And then I had some cool sellies. I had this one Hispanic cat named Vince, and this other nigga, I forget his name, black dude. That nigga was goofy as hell. Like I ain't gonna lie, I had a cool ass block, and then all the old heads, all the salty niggas was on some shit where them niggas was just mad. They was mad at me initially, but it wasn't because like I had violated. It was cause like they was like, nigga, what the fuck are you doing here?
Yeah,
man. Last time I was in there, I seen two niggas that were a little bit younger than me. One of them I was around when I was younger. The other one is my cousin's brother, but he's not related to me because that's his brother through another like marriage or whatever. And both of them was in there for drug charges. They got caught with some fucking work, and they ended up getting a lot of time for that shit, but they was in that motherfucker. And then when I went into pods, like in that particular jail, if you're a violent offender, they won't put you, like they got two separate spaces. They got one space that's like a jail block. It don't got no heat and no AC. And like if you a violent offender, they leave you over there.
And you wore red? They wore red?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how it is in Clayco. They wear red.
But then they got the fucking they got the pods, which is really comfortable. The pods is like they got the bunks, like the military bunks and shit, and everybody's in the same space. They got like multiple pods, right? So it'll be a bunch of dudes in one space. They'll have like the bunks, and then they got the mats on the floor. And they got a TV in there, and it's AC and heat in there. So if you in there for a charge that's not a violent offense, you can go in there. So I went in that motherfucker because I was in there just for like a failure to appear or whatever. So I'm in there and I see this old head I know, this old school like OG nigga that I know. He in there sitting in the fucking chair with the goddamn remote, right? And I was like, oh shit, what's going on, fam? He's like, what's good with you, young blood? What's good? What's going on? Like, nothing, man. I'm gonna be in here for probably a couple of days or whatever. He's like, well, shit. Glad you decided to come and visit. He said, here, you want to watch something on TV? Them niggas was mad as shit. Cause like, anybody know if you go into a pod in a jail and a nigga got the remote and ain't nobody saying shit, that's
the nigga you don't want to fuck with.
That's that nigga, you feel me?
Yeah.
So like, in there, cause hey, the worst thing you could ever do is go in a fucking jail and take the remote and change the soap operas, nigga.
That's true, though. I've heard that.
Hey, bro, look, I'll tell you like this. There was a nigga, like, for us, I didn't have none of the pod shit where, I know what you're talking about, though, but I never did that. Like, it was blocks and then it was tiers, upstairs, downstairs. And so the thing is, like, we had this one nigga who was he was like Muslim, and this nigga would pray. You know, he prayed certain times a day and all that shit. But he was a fucking inmate worker, so that nigga had on the white jumpsuit. So this nigga always had, yeah, he was a trustee. Yeah, that's what I was looking for. He was the trustee. So the nigga who was the trustee, the Muslim nigga, he always used to like watch TV after he got done praying and shit. You know what I'm saying? After he got done doing his rounds or whatever the fuck he was doing. And I remember one time, this nigga turned off the TV to pray, and there was this white boy on the bottom tier, and like I was coming in from either court or something, and it was something, and I came back, and this nigga was beating his face until he like made his like nose bleed, his nose and his mouth bleed. Like this nigga beat. You know how you got that window, that little slit?
Yeah.
That's how it is. This nigga beat, because this nigga, I walk in and here go this nigga. You know, this nigga going in. And this other, he's speaking the language and shit. This white boy was so offended at that shit that as I'm walking up the fucking stairs of my shit, or walking across the bottom common area where all the tables at, you feel me, to go upstairs, this nigga beat his face up against that wall till it bled, talking about, shut the fuck up! Shut the fuck, like, bro.
There's always one dude like that. Like, when I got that domestic charge, there was a white guy in there that was doing that shit. He was beating his head up against the thing, because like that new jail that they had built in Greensboro, it's like solitary shit. Like they only like it's the whole jail was new. It kind of looked like that
Supermax and
yeah, it kind of looked like the joint on Oz.
Yeah,
it kind of looked like Emerald City, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the way they do it is, instead of you having a cellmate, you're just in a cell by yourself, and they only bring you out an hour a day to like have lunch and shit, and then they put you back in there.
Yeah,
he was in that motherfucker beating his head against the thing and shit.
Yeah.
When they finally brought him out, his whole face was like bloody and shit. That's
yeah. That's they call those Supermaxes that started in California, like in the 90s, where they have it's all solitary cells, but those are supposed to be for extremely violent prisoners. In other words, the ones that are uncontrollable. It's in Supermax. So it's like, say if you're a shot caller and you're a gangbanger in LA or up north, they send you right to the Supermax.
Yeah. Yeah, but that shit's crazy, because like when I went in there, I was like, oh shit, these niggas is on some 23-hour lockdown.
Yep. We only get out 1 hour a day.
That shit sucks, bro. I can't even imagine that. Like,
that's typical.
They put my shit on lockdown, right, for some shit that happened in my block, and they gave niggas that shit where niggas was on some shit where nigga you ate in your cell. You feel me? Like you can come down to the common area and eat because of some dumbass shit some nigga had did. This is like right after Bobby Brown had violated that nigga butthole. You feel me? Like right after that shit. Like right after that was some bullshit that happened. You know, because there was another nigga in there, and this nigga, I remember we had like a weird nigga come in, like the alphabet community motherfuckers. And that motherfucker came in, and this nigga, I remember standing outside with Vince, that was my cellie, and this nigga looked at me, you know what I'm saying? Or we looked at him rather. This nigga licking his lips, growling and shit. And I was like, grr, you feel me? And like, but we didn't tell him that because he a fucking, that nigga obviously a vet at this shit, and he about to get processed to prison. So he on some shit where this nigga, grr, and we look at this nigga like, the fuck? And he said, like that was our facial expression. And this nigga said, look, if you've been inside as long as I have, you'll understand, youngin. I was like,
that nigga was licking his lips and growling.
Nigga, Rich, that fucking 23-hour fucking lock. Look, I got locked up that Friday. and it was a 3-day weekend because Monday was like a holiday and shit.
Mm-hmm.
I had to sit in that motherfucker, man. That shit was fucked up.
Yeah.
And then they let me sign myself out. So I'm sitting there like, really, niggas? So y'all just let me sit up in this motherfucker for the whole weekend.
And then you let you off on your own reconnaissance?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's just stupid. Man, I know how.
What? They had no place else to put you except there, or what?
Nah, this is what they were doing in Greensboro, and I peeped this shit because when I got locked up before I went to the other jail, they had built this. This was a new jail they took.
Oh, okay.
And everybody that was in there, when they let us out to, eat lunch and we're sitting there talking and shit, we talking about our charges. Everybody was in there for domestic.
Okay.
Like everybody was in there for domestic charge. And then most of us were able to sign ourselves out. We was in there on that 48-hour hold. You know what I'm saying? And I was just sitting there like, wow, these niggas done made a whole new jail just for domestic violence and shit.
Damn.
Hey, y'all want to hear my best jail story? And this is the last one I got for y'all.
That you can tell, huh?
Yeah. Best jail story, and I say it's the best because of the memory.
Give me your cornbread.
No, nigga, nobody asked for my fucking cornbread, nigga. I wish the nigga had some cornbread in that bitch.
Oatmeal cookie.
In the morning, nigga, cold coffee and
I want your shebang. I want your shebang.
Yeah, no, that shit weird, nigga. Look, this is what happened. Basically, I had got fucked up, locked up. While I was sitting in there, I ended up catching some more charges on some other shit for a nigga who lied to avoid charges. Some shit that didn't have shit to do with me. But because I was under that law, nigga, I ate it. So my thing is, I ended up spending not even too long out of there. And like Valdez was just talking about getting released on your own reconnaissance and shit. They ended up doing that shit to me. Like maybe 3 weeks or something down the line or something. And I get out, and me and the girl I was dealing with at the time, we both got fucked up together. And this is that time where them niggas was schooling me like a motherfucker. Because they heard like why and this, and then they seen me not say nothing, and they knew I didn't have no children, and they, you know what I'm saying? Like they kind of fucked with the whole story. So they was on some shit like, you know how niggas do in there, like, bruh, like young blood, let me fuck with you, blood. You feel me? Like, so anyway, after all that, I ended up getting released on my own reconnaissance. You feel me? I get released in the wee hours of February 14th, right? On Valentine's Day. Now, the bitch I was fucking with ended up being a smart bitch, at least for as much as her mental capacity could sustain, right? So she was on some shit where before we had got fucked up, before we had went and did what we did, she had filed her taxes. So when I got out, I went straight to the nigga who snitched on me, like straight to his residence. And the residence was a college campus. I'm not. Let's skip past all that. Okay.
Yeah, right.
Statute of limitations probably ain't up, but go ahead.
Yeah, let's skip past all that. I handle business, but when I get there, she's there. You feel me? Because that's where I was at before I had got fucked up. And so she was like, "Yo, you know what I'm saying? He gave me everything out of his wallet already. You know what I'm saying? Woo-de-woo." Anyway, we had enough money to go catch a cab to the fucking tax cashier place. And I remember jumping on MARTA, because I was in Atlanta at the time, jumping on MARTA and having motherfuckers. I get off, and my brother, he happy to see me and shit. This nigga stupid. He on some dumb shit like, nigga, you should be a rapper. I said, nigga, shut the fuck up. So this nigga, I get on the motherfucking taxi with this nigga, and we go celebrate Valentine's Day with our bitches and shit at like some shit. I think it was the Holiday Inn, but it was one of them upgraded joints. So it had like, like the flat screen and the room service and shit like that.
Yeah.
So, but that look, I know y'all was waiting on like the drama But
Mhm.
my best jail story is the one where I actually got out. I had enough money to go get another pistol. I had enough money to go get fucking what?
I had enough money to get
Go
another
get another
pistol.
pistol. It
Come
just
on,
got out.
Grinch.
It just got out.
Right.
Look,
Walk
fuck
out.
you,
I
nigga.
want to buy a gun.
Man,
Only
like,
Grinch.
like a fucking
Only
Jamaican.
Grinch.
Hey man, time to
nigga,
go
that
to
ain't
work.
even the punchline, nigga. That's y'all niggas stupid.
They go right back into the shit, boy.
But
Right.
but I ain't
Come
had
on,
no
BGS.
choice.
No, wait a minute. BGS, go on, answer that. Come on. Get out of jail, buy a big pistol right away.
Yeah, right away.
Come
Yeah.
on.
Hey, you might have to go. Gotta go do some
Nigga,
work.
I was a teenager. I didn't have no. I really wasn't on no other shit other than you feel me. I didn't have. I was on. You feel me? It wasn't no other. I wasn't thinking.
You're lying, Grinch. You're lying. Well, man, I didn't know. You can see him trying to make
He's
an
on some
excuse.
survival shit. Okay.
Yeah, I was on some survival shit. Like, let me go get this pistol. Hey, it's Valentine's Day. Fucking, I'm gonna chill with my bitch at this fucking Holiday Inn. My brother just picked me up from the MARTA station. You know what I'm saying? We go to the Holiday Inn. He bring his bitch. We turned up for the night, and then after that, back at it. Like your shit was cool.
And I shot somebody the next day.
Hey, Grinch, you remind me of my boy, man. My boy, he get out from doing the bid, man. The next day, he's back into the bullshit, man.
I mean, but it wasn't no like look for the record.
You didn't get caught, so it don't count.
It wasn't even like I had a one-track mind at the time. Like I was just gonna, it wasn't no other thing I was trying to do at all. Like period. Like so.
Live fast, die young, huh?
Yeah, that's what I was on.
Yeah, I understand. I understand.
Yeah, I'm a lot different now. You feel me?
Well, yeah, you didn't survive the bullshit. Got old enough to say, "Hey, I don't want." Well, you don't want to die young no more. That's what happened.
No,
I mean, think about it. He ain't even been out 2 hours yet. He had the gun store.
He had to, he had to go. He wasn't at the gun store, but he was someplace.
I wasn't at the store though.
No, yeah, I know you were in the store.
I wasn't at the store.
No,
not that kind of store. No.
What's going on here, dude?
I went out of any store now. Like I got military background. I got my CCW.
Wait, hold on a second. Dude.
So
that's what it was, man. But look, this is different, Grinch. This is a educated about my purpose, Grinch.
You damn near lame. We're gonna W educated lame in a minute. keep it up.
Look, the funny thing is I meet the qualifications, everything except for like how much
the lame part.
Yeah, except the lame part. Look, I meet the qualifications. Like
I told you, keep it up, man. We're gonna turn you into an educated lame. What's gonna happen? They'll start calling it a Grinch the corny.
Well, yeah, until they fuck with me wrong.
No, we don't want to see. Well, that's the Kraken, man. We don't see the Kraken, man. So we know once the Kraken comes out, like Valdez said, you don't even try to hold him. Okay.
That nigga, look, man, that nigga Valdez, man, that's the only nigga I really be talking to about this shit. Where'd that nigga go? Is that nigga here?
He probably got a show to do, man. It's almost that time, so he probably preparing for the next show. Yeah, he probably getting ready to go live. Yeah.
Man, look, man. For all you niggas who be on that educated lane, Pookie Ray shit, my whole life busts all that shit up. It busts all that because I done went through it with the Pookies, and I can hang with y'all. Look, I was an analyst. You feel me? Now I'm a business owner. Like y'all niggas stuck on division shit that shouldn't even be dividing niggas, bro. For real.
All it is, man. What it is that this is just my reading of it, man. You on the street, man. You probably know the same shit. Because the black community, man, the class lines in the black community is so blurred. Okay. Yeah, and all niggas see is a fat ass and big pair of titties. They don't realize that chick is in a different class, right?
Yeah.
And the kind of dude she gonna go for ain't gonna be you. She gonna go for the best nigga in her class. And if that ain't you, that ain't you. And no matter how educated you are, how much money you rolling with, you food to her. So if you're not in her class, you don't know how to handle her. And a lot of guys A lot of black guys, we train to see looks instead of class. In the white community, they ain't so. A rich white dude or educated white dude ain't gonna be down there in the trailer park looking for pussy.
Nah, but if you get around these other groups, you'll learn real quick how to identify who is who.
Yeah.
And it's not even hard. It's not even like a hard thing to tell.
Yeah. One thing is in the black community, for whatever reason, we don't recognize class like that. So you're gonna have just like like I was just listening to Sergeant Willie Pete. Even though he's a classic educated, so-called educated lame, right? He don't care about the class of the chick. He just want a fat ass, a big pair of tits and a cute face. It don't matter what class she's in. So come on, man, that's the problem. So you go down there and wonder why she calling you corny, because to her you are corny. You need to stay in your class.
Yeah, niggas like that's crazy that people don't understand that shit about the community, bro. Like you ain't no way around it. Like motherfuckers to be quick to like there. And look, I get it because the whole culture kind of subscribes to fucking horror culture. I get it, but at the same time, nigga, it ain't fucking hard to tell if this bitch is taking you over to her mama house and she live on 103rd.
Yeah,
you know what it is because you smell it. You smell. Her whole community smell like dirty diapers.
Yeah.
And you telling me you can't recognize the class difference between that and a bitch who might talk just like Shaniqua from the block, but is going back to like old time Mesa or some shit? Like
A lot of times that's what happened. She just got educated. She went through the education process, so she sounds a little different. But then basically, she's still Shaniqua from the block underneath.
Yeah, they're the concubine class of America. That's why niggas need to understand. Niggas need to deal with other groups of women because it might be. I don't even want to say it's harder to tell because it's really not class. Class is something that comes out within your first conversation with a bitch.
Yeah, it should.
Yeah, your first conversation with a bitch, you already know where she at.
Yeah, well, the thing is, Grinch, they know where she at, man. They don't care. She got a fat ass.
Yeah, she got a fat ass.
And she down to fuck. They don't care.
Yeah,
they wonder, well, why? How come Grinch can fuck her and I can't? You don't vibe with her that way. Grinch vibe on a different level than you do, man. Stay in your class.
I'm somewhere in the middle, and I love that about my position is the fact that I come from shit. But I've educated myself and I've been around enough shit and I've been around the world. So now
you vibe a little different, huh?
Yeah, my vibe's a little different. Yeah, then I still that nigga from College Park, sure. But at the same time, like I can intrigue a motherfucker who's, don't know nothing about, you feel me? Nothing about shit. Because
you're the educated nigga from College Park now.
Like Ghost trying to get ready to choke out that the councilman. What kind of nigga kills another nigga over a business deal? You don't know who I am. When I saw that, I thought of Grinch. You don't know who I am.
For real, like these niggas, man, they need help, man. Like at the end of the day, all these niggas still looking at pussy.
Yeah,
and trying to face it. Yeah, like, bro, it's time to
BGS.
Up.
Yes, sir.
What do you think black men could do, like thinking black men like us could do if we was to put like our resources together and build something for black boys? Like what would be like the first tangible thing?
Okay, that you would start if thinking black men actually got together, actually worked together. Okay. First thing to do for black boys, they go in and they'd actually take over the school board or where they're at, right? This is just me. And then say, okay, we for the last 50 years, the black girls have had the privilege and got all the resources, and basically the black boys are the problem. What we're going to do is basically going to have single-sex schools for black boys. Okay, there's money, there's facilities, there's all kind of stuff like that. We're going to have single-sex schools for black boys. So all the closed down, boarded up schools that we say that there's they said there's no students for. Guess what? We're gonna open up those facilities. We're gonna have a few single-sex schools for black boys from at least from middle school on. That's the first thing that I would do. First thing I would
Okay.
do. Second thing I
So
would do.
like open
Huh?
our own schools kind of thing.
No, not open our own schools. You don't need to do that. Single
Okay.
sex schools. You can actually have single sex public schools. You can actually do that. If the school board goes for it, you can actually have single sex public schools for black boys. You can call them charter or whatever you want to call them. Right. That's the first thing I would do. Okay.
Okay.
Second thing I would do is for black boys. If you do just that, I said you clear up 60% of the problems. Second things I would do is basically start actually doing what they used to do, actually gear up trades in community college um, or even the latter part of high school. Hey, focus on trades, whether it's something physical trade or even coding. Okay, you can do that. You can actually do that. You can open up Saturday schools and do that. There's a lot of stuff that you can actually do. And the thing is, you can do that with the money that you already have. You don't have to spend any more money. Money's already allocated. All you got to do is how are you going to allocate it and what kind of program you're going to allocate it to. Because it's per student, it doesn't matter. As long as you teach that kid what he needs to know, it doesn't matter where he goes, right? The state's going to pay for it.
And where do you think would the most common pushbacks be if you did something like that? Because you're gonna
Black
have
women and black women and white women, because the white men don't care for the most part. They don't care. They said, okay, if it keep the little Negroes off the street, keep them from stealing, robbing me, and keep them off the welfare, the welfare and unemployment rolls. Hey, go for it. It's the white feminists and especially the black women. They don't want it to happen. But if you just do that, clear it up. If you just do those couple of things, 60% of the problems will actually go away.
These niggas ain't never gonna do none of that.
I know. and then as far as anything else, as far as thinking black men, once the grades and all the other metrics come up, then you can actually push for, okay, now we need now we need to go to the federal government and say, look, we've raised these kids' grades, we've got them trained, so now we have to open up scholarships and other grants and other kind of stuff that you send these boys to college, the ones that can go to college, right? And then open up equal opportunity process in tech. Say if they don't learn how to code or something like that, hey, if Amazon and Google and all this stuff go to these enterprise zones to hire people, hey, we want to be on the list. We want these black boys who are already educated and trained to be on that list.
You know what? I think the majority of black men are already so bitch made and bitch fed that even the niggas who do take an education, right? Even the niggas who do be in a setting or in a situation where they could do this shit, they're not gonna do that.
Well, I get sick of hearing.
But the thing is, like, at least to kind of find those that can,
Yeah, it would take that, and it would take that because you're gonna get major pushback from the sisters because they say, well, what about the girls?
Okay. Them niggas ain't finna say nothing to their mama, their sister, their bitch, they fucking ain't finna do nothing.
I know. The thing is, he said, what if? This is a what if. It's a what if. Anyway, this ain't what's on the ground right now.
Extra backing for that?
You need
extra political backing is there?
Okay, this is how you frame it. And I've said this before. This is how you frame it. Okay, how much is I'm gonna take Grinch for instance, right? Take Grinch when he was young, right? Okay, how much havoc, how much damage, how much money is going to cost you have 100,000 Grinches running on the street? What's it going to cost in law enforcement, jail time, all that kind of stuff? Because say for a young kid like Grinch going to jail costs double what a grown man would cost.
Yep.
Because there's certain protections that he has to have because he's a minor, right? To put him in a group home, that putting little boys in a group homes and shit like that, that's expensive. That's not cheap. Okay, that's very expensive. That's an expensive way to do things. So in other words, all the little social, damn the people actually making money off this stuff, because that's another thing. Okay, all the little expenses that you have by these troubled boys. Okay, these troubled boys is cost you way more money than what actually cost you to actually implement these programs.
Yeah, and
More,
put them
more,
into the economy in an effective way.
yeah.
That's what I'm saying, BGS. Like, what politician or who would you have to present this to, and who would we have to like slide money to make sure something happens?
You know who, you know what listen to, you know, I hate to say, you know what listen to it more than anybody else? Them rednecks, conservative ass white boys.
Yo,
But I hate to say
So we would need the redneck. We would need the rednecks. You say?
because
BGS?
it's about dollars and cents.
Okay.
If you could do it without costing them dollars and cents, they'd go for it. Go ahead, Grinch.
Black people don't have any political representation, so I mean, yeah, you can buy somebody up, but that takes a conscious collective effort to do something like that.
Yeah, it would take that. But that is it, and the biggest person.
It would take what?
It takes a lot of political will that black people don't have. Like you said, you're gonna have the hyenas and the maggots standing in your way.
Yeah, but I'm always thinking in terms of money talks at the end of the day, right?
But where does the money come from? It comes from. It's not just going to be one person buying it, like you might buy a pack of bagels or something. It's going to be a lot of people donating a decent amount, or every little bit counts type shit in order to get this motherfucker to the bud.
Yeah,
and tell me what maggot hyena you know gonna motherfucking put their money towards some shit that don't benefit them.
Well, the thing is,
and we would have to cut the hyenas out and the maggots out. That's what I'm saying. Like thinking black men like us.
Well, the thing is, the thing is why it takes political will, because it already makes dollars and cents, right? Because the money that you because group homes ain't free. Okay, prisons aren't free, jails aren't free. And basically it ain't private contractors paying to put you in jail. It's actually the taxpayers, right? So all you're doing is reallocating the money that's already being spent. So the thing is, it might cost you a little bit more money over here, which shouldn't cost you any money, because you already have the school facilities. Okay, you already have the school facilities. You're already paying so much money per student. The thing is, it's not costing you anything, really. It's actually going to save you money if you actually if you have to put up these programs. There's a lot of ways you actually save money. Automating certain systems, right? Basically, the thing is, it's going to take money away from the police force. They might be upset because you can't hire as many police because you don't need them, or as many social workers because you don't need them, or a whole bunch of other stuff where some people won't have as many jobs. They got to find other jobs.
You got to understand, thinking black men are the minority. We are the minority of what niggas like to call the minority. There is no, but it is not very many motherfuckers who are thinking like this. And if they are thinking like this and they're in the position to do anything about it, they're not about to motherfucking rock their own boat for the sake of a motherfucking people who ain't really gonna finance their own interest.
Yeah.
But look at Dr. Umar. I mean, the way how he's coming at it. I mean, the whole thing is with him. He has the idea laid down, the foundation, and nobody really wanted to put the money behind him. But the craziest thing of it was the money that he had, he could have actually opened up a small school, showed that this works, or even open up a
Umar's a fraud.
But it already works. The all boys. The all boy high schools and middle schools already works. It's already improved that it does work. The thing is that are you willing to actually allocate the money that's already there to actually do it? And the thing is, it's not about money. It's about them wanting control of the boys.
Clowns. Look, Dr. Umar Johnson is a motherfucking clown, bro.
Like, but the point of it, I'm not talking about what Umar. I'm talking about him personally. I'm talking about his idea and what he was bringing to the table.
It's older than time, though. Niggas have actually already did this idea before in the past.
It passed, yeah. In fact, I think I'll do a video on it. It's actually coming from the book The Boy Problem, where she showed in 1912 that actually gearing the educational system for boys and basically a single sex school for boys actually does work. It works. They knew that back in 1912. The thing is not that they don't know it works. The thing is that you don't feminize the boys if boys won't get feminized if you put them around especially around girls and especially around female teachers. Okay, female teachers probably won't be able to get around if you just separate the boys from the girls. Just separate the boys from girls and give the boys just a slightly different program. That had to be completely different, just a slightly different program. Okay, you will actually change the way the outcome of the boys. Okay, they've shown it. They've shown even boys that get there late, like high school is late, right? Because you've gone through 8 or 9 grades already. Okay, high school's late. By time, so if you get a kid in 9th grade to 12th grade, you go from a kid that can barely read to a kid that's ready to go to college.
Right.
In 4 years.
What's that nigga name? Boy Buns. What's the nigga name?
Who?
Boy Buns Butter.
Boyce Watkins?
No.
Q Butter.
Okay, what about him?
You niggas gotta understand, when you feed in schools like that, most of these schools are ran off BW dollars.
Yeah.
So the thing is, what is the point? What is the point of having these motherfucking schools if we know the BW is the concubine class of America?
Mm-hmm.
This nigga runs around kissing the ass of all these BWs for them dollars to fund whatever the fuck it is he's doing over there in that fucking slave shack. So my thing is, if you know this, then you gotta understand why it's futile, which is why I promote other motherfuckers, BMs, black males, to come to gather the fucking resources, to understand the situation that they're living in, and to seek opportunity and build legacy or whatever, live your life elsewhere. It just doesn't make any sense to do it consistently when we've seen, like BJ said, the shit that Umar is doing is nothing new. This ain't new. None of this shit is new.
No.
This is the same old fucking slave song that
But Grinch
in the fucking fields.
But Grinch, what about the other young kid or Gen Zer that's in the group home right now? Because he doesn't because he doesn't agree with the gynocracy or whatever. Like, how do you help that kind of person?
You help somebody. Help him when he gets out because he's in the system.
This is the sad truth, and I'm saying this as somebody who came up in the system.
Mm-hmm.
You can't. You, that person on the individual level, has to make a conscious decision to say, I do not want to live like this. I see that there is something wrong with this. And you know, it's hard for a lot of them because look, public school sucks. They don't have any fucking male mentors. They don't have anybody who has their best interests at heart because at the end of the day, for them group homes, all them kids are a motherfucking check for the state. Depending on your behavior and depending on the shit that you've done, you get a higher check depending on who you are. That or the motherfuckers who run it get a higher check. You feel me? And if you're lucky, you won't have to fight over fucking blue box Kraft mac and cheese, nigga. You feel me? That's the reality of the system. So with this being said, and with us knowing that black is supposed to be a permanent underclass, you have to understand niggas will always be niggas in America.
Yeah, and basically, you know, trying to re-socialize people that, number one, resist being re-socialized. Number two, they've been brainwashed for so many generations. Basically, it is you talk about almost an impossible task. But you asked me just for boys, if thinking black men could get together, I said trying to help them on an individual basis is almost impossible. Trying to for thinking black men attack the system, attack the policy at the top. That's your best shot, because trying to do it on an individual basis is not going to happen. You have to change the policy at the top. That's your best fight. If you use your leverage at the top, change the policy for the black boys. If you can convince them that will actually save money, that's probably the only way. But the thing is that is a very, very those are very, very long odds, especially for black boys. You know, they don't care about black males, period, as we speak.
I got a question for you, BGS.
Yes, sir.
This is one of the things I think that the reason why that every time there's a program for the boys, they try to kill it or they don't give a shit about the boys. I think they want the men to be dumb. That way they can control them.
They control. Yeah.
Because
women
you wanna hear something
especially.
funny? Yeah.
Go ahead.
Just give an example. Like I told my girlfriend took her daughter and her son out to, they had a play date. So they took them out to this place. It's called Fun and Stuff. So basically like you pay for the tickets. It's like going to cost you $35 for like each kid for a couple hours.
Yeah.
So she invite one of her little girls, because it was a play date for the girl. So she invited the girl to go. So my girlfriend agreed to pay for the daughter, the other, the friend to go. Okay. So afterwards, they call, they confirm to meet up there and go to show you how these women act about shit. So then all of a sudden they get out there, they wait 20, 30 minutes. Now the woman ain't answering the phone. So she say, fuck it. She just go ahead and buy the pass for the kid. They sit down, eat. Hour later, the woman call, oh, I'm on my way, this, that, and the other. Well, can you pay for my other kid too? So I'm like, whoa, wait. Now she got an older son, this, that, and the other. My girlfriend's looking at me like, she had called me and like, hey, did you hear this shit? And I said, well, do this. I said, I'm just going to go ahead and be nice. I'll pay for this boy to go. So that way, you know what I mean? I sent her $50 through my account to pay for him. I just tell her I'm in a men's group online. We talk about how helping young boys, this, that, and the other. Just let her make sure that she knows that the online people sponsored this event for boys. Okay. Sit up here to go to show you how these motherfuckers don't care about their kids and none of that shit. Why after all that shit? So she say, well, I'll take the kids to the movies tomorrow, but your son can't go. I'll take the girls, but your son can't go. Now think about it. Motherfucker just paid for your child to go. On top of that, when you got there, she bought another pizza for them to eat. So that basically you done spent another $50 on another child. Then you had to buy another pass for your two kids on top of the $50 you done spent on her kid because their time ran out. Now I ain't even done to show you how these bitches are. So she says, "Well, I'll take the girls to the movie tomorrow. This be a girls' date, but your son can't come." So she's like, "Okay, fine." She said, "But I'm gonna need you to give me $60."
Oh, okay.
Now, wait a minute. Somebody just spent damn near. You understand what I'm saying? That's just fucked up. That these girls, and she don't care. They don't care about the boys.
No,
not at all.
Man, fuck these hoes, bro.
Not at all.
No, it is what it is. I mean, it is what it is. It's been ingrained.
So it's really pointless to try and do anything.
I know what I'm saying is if you can do it, if you have the ability to do it, that's the way to do it. If you have the ability, okay. I'm not saying that it's pointless. The thing is, if it comes up, you have the ability to do it. You want something to do, that's where I would start. What I'm saying is you can't just make it your life crusade, because you're actually gonna throw your life away by doing that.
Bro, look, you niggas gotta really understand. So true. Like, look, oh God, you niggas gotta really understand, bro. Like, look, everybody wants to do the best, but for their people, and want to see their circumstances change, because everybody know power, what I'm saying, is transferred in groups. That's how this shit works. The thing is, though, when you look at the percentage of I've heard people break it down multiple ways. Some motherfuckers say we the lost tribe of whatever the fuck, or some other motherfuckers say that, you know what I'm saying? Like, we ain't got no niggas. My thing is, though, bro, you gotta understand, we are in a situation where we, as thinking men, we're in a culture that does not fuck with us, does not encourage others like us to be reproduced. We're in a culture where most of us had to be created by our own hand, no guidance, no guidelines, no anything. We had to come to these conclusions of our own, through our own adventures, through our own experience, through our own education of ourselves. The thing is, since we know this shit and we see motherfuckers like BGS, nigga gave 30 years to this shit. And this nigga sit up here and tell you he black pilled in a motherfucker. With that being said, nigga, he's giving you the game. You just gotta read through, look between the lines. Motherfucker who dedicated a whole fucking lifetime, pretty much, more years than I've been on this planet, to figuring out this fucking
To the
problem.
conscious community, yeah.
Trying to create a motherfucking way to motherfucking level up people as a whole. You have to understand, no, that's not how it works, because America is a fucking caste system. It's a class system. White and black are the have-nots. And so with that being the case, nigga, you have to do for self. Make a better future for yourself by any means. And look, for me, in my particular opinion, I think the better way is to finding a way off the plantation. But once you niggas start thinking, yes, the plantation is in our minds from the shit that we've been indoctrinated with by our own mothers, our own family members since we were young. But however, I'll take it a step further. I think the plantation is America. And as long as you're in this motherfucker, you're a nigga.
Yeah. Well, that's obvious. That's if you're a black man, you don't know that by now, then I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah.
I don't know what to tell you. Thinking black men or not, you just, you're still on the plantation. It is what it is.
Right.
So, but don't believe the hype. I mean, there's things you can do to make it better. But the thing is that the United States of America, from going back 20 years, they want this to be a non-black country. Okay, you have been you were actually bred to be the workforce. You're bred to be the underclass. You were bred to be that class. And when they didn't need you anymore, they tried to ship you out. Okay, when they couldn't ship you out, they tried to euthanize you through Planned Parenthood. When they couldn't do that, I said now they want you to disappear like the Native Americans, which is a blend in. Okay, that's the policy. I'm not saying when you say, well, you're trying to protect your black legacy or whatever it is. I said, okay, well, if you can, you can. And Grinch knows I've said this many times. I said, I don't actually espouse what I believe about the black community, because if people have hope, and I don't want to throw cold water on their hope. If you think you can do something and you're willing to do it, I'm not going to throw cold water on you, but I'm not going to lie to you either.
Hey,
okay, the odds you pull this off is pretty
look,
low.
I understand that.
Yeah.
At the same time, though.
Well, you the Grinch, man. I'm not the Grinch. You the Grinch.
Throw the cold water, man. Throw it.
What I'm saying is that the only thing I was waiting on to see what the Z's would vote on. If the Z said they wanted so-called black love, they want to stay black, they wanted to keep their heritage, they want to keep a black community as the way it was or where it has been is semi-separate, which has never been separate, but semi-separate. Then I said, okay, you might have a chance because the Z's are the center of the teeter-totter, right? They're the fourth generation, so they're right there, dead in the middle. And whatever they choose is the way that the so-called black community is going to go, right? And the Z's is already chosen. We're not on that. Diseases say disease have already gone SYSBM. I'm choosing the best black woman for me, right? That's what the male Z's have, right? I don't have to choose a black woman. And even the lawyer that's in Dallas, she says she's got nephews that said the exact same thing. She said her daughters aren't getting. She got 2 twin daughters. They're not being chosen by black men.
Well, let me put this out there though, because I know. Look, I've seen there's some content creators. I don't know if they watch the channel or not.
They do.
Everybody watch BBS, but the thing is, it's like I've seen some. Like one of them is Walt Diddy. Another one is
Walt Diddy's in here. He's in. Yeah.
Oh, he's in here.
Yeah, he's in here.
But see, it's brothers like that who the thing is they see what's coming.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is, this is why I encourage for every man who has a decade left of work life in them,
mm-hmm.
if they look, and I mean that starting today, you have the opportunity to get the fuck out of Dodge. You have the chance to go somewhere and make your money quadruple. Yeah, work hard, grind your ass off. It might suck, yeah, but you have the opportunity to quadruple your money. I'm at the point where I think every black man needs an exodus plan.
Yeah, what they do, you need basically, you need to look at the reality. You need a choice. You need a choice. I'm gonna share the screen for a second. Check this bullshit out, man.
What?
Hold on a second. I'm gonna just show it to you. Check that bullshit out. That Snoop Dogg at the Red Table Talk.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Check that shit out, man. Check that shit out. Kissing the ring of the gynocracy. Ain't that a bitch?
We knew that was coming.
We knew it was coming. We knew it was coming.
Yep.
My God.
Hey,
You know
he's in
why
that club.
You know why he did that?
Why?
Because it's hard. It's hard to choose the path. Look, like I'm gonna quote the Matrix right now. Morpheus. It's one thing knowing the path.
Yes.
It's a different thing walking the path. My thing is, Snoop, he knows the path.
Yeah.
He has enough money to where he doesn't have to be the most intelligent brother, but he's been exposed to many things. He's been many places. He's seen the world. He's seen what it is other places. But there's a lot of black men who have anchors tying them down. And I'm not faulting them for that. Look, a lot of you niggas got a lot of family members and shit. You can't leave. You feel obligated, X, Y, Z. Cool. That's you, though. For everybody else who is willing to motherfucking cut ties so that they can rise to the top, nigga, to get these anchors off of them, to get these chains off of them, to break the shackles off their mind. Like, nigga, look, when you see Snoop do that, he's doing that because obviously there's something tying him here. Because when a nigga like, what's that nigga name in China? Marbury?
Oh, Stephen Marbury? Yeah.
Yes. So you see a nigga like that go to another country and get a statue resurrected in his greatness, in his honor. Like, nigga, y'all are bugging.
It's that brainwashing, bro.
Yep.
Man.
Look how they did him over here about his shoes and everything. He was making the shoes affordable, so from the people who can afford them, the people who can't.
Yeah, the thing is that basically it was who opened. There's two people actually opened it up. It was actually the Stern bringing over Yao Ming, was opened up China to NBA basketball, and then believe it or not, Kobe is probably the one of the most beloved basketball players in China, period. And he was that's like Kobe Inc. was worth over a couple $100 billion, is because it was opening up the China market before he died. That's what he was doing. That's like LeBron came to play for LA, because that's the path that's the avenue that Kobe actually opened up. So all these cats trying to make it to the Clippers or to the Lakers to actually open up the Chinese market, because that's where the money's at.
Man, I just don't look, my thing is we have to recognize this cognitive dissonance. You see the things that are achieved by black men all over the world. Not even black men, American black men. You see the descendants of slaves in this country go elsewhere and do great things. Like, matter of fact, I got sent a video by Thinking Man's Templar. There's a black man who lives, he's the only black man on an island off of Japan. The only one. His house is amazing. His family lives there in peace. It's a fucking beautiful location. The thing is, this nigga a lot of you niggas ain't got a whole bunch of like kids and shit like that. You feel me? Like, you ain't sitting up here with 4 kids or you feel me? Look, nigga, it is possible for you niggas to get out here and go places. I've been around the world twice, and I can tell you, every place that I've went, I've seen an American black man. Every place that I've went, matter of fact, when I went to Thailand, I ran into somebody who was from my neighborhood. No bullshit.
Now what's the odds in that?
Bruh, on everything. He seen me, and he was like, "Where you from?" I was like, "College Park, what you talking about?" He was like, "Bruh, I'm off Riverdale Road." I said, "What?" Like, bro, look, the thing is, like, we're everywhere. It's just not a majority of people doing this. And the reason why is because there's this fucking psychological block that black men have.
Yeah.
We've had ever since slavery to where we are owe somebody else, or we're obligated to somebody else, or we belong to somebody else, or we should work for somebody else. Like this shit is you gotta
you wrote the book, you know where it comes from.
Yeah, look, yeah, and y'all go pick up my book, The Ratchet's Rules. You know, look, I'm not gonna go all the way that far back to discuss the shit, but the thing is, the point is, nigga, y'all niggas have to, once you get over the psychological block and you start thinking about self, because black men ever since the beginning of this country have came here on some shit where they're obligated to other people. When you was on the plantation, you was obligated to do whatever the fuck your master told you to do because you were property. When you got off master's plantation because one of your fucking female relatives was a bed wench, and under the femme soul laws, she inherited your black ass along with all your other family members. Nigga, you was obligated to her because she owned you like property. In fucking Reconstruction, there was a motherfucking need for you to be home because of Klan's raids. In Jim Crow, you was obligated because you wasn't allowed any other type of opportunity anywhere else. Nigga, now, nigga, you see, look, we have this gang culture and shit, and look, I shout out to all the homies and shit, look, but it is what it is. At the same time, you got this fucking culture that promotes black men killing other black men. And why? You're obligated to do that because of a block you don't even own, because of some shit that ain't even, you feel me? You're not even making any money from, nigga, or because of the fucking peer pressure from all those who subscribe to that bullshit to make you be that. It's been other niggas I know who grew up in the burbs all their life, had parents that give them opportunities but fall victim to the same shit that other boys with lesser privilege fucking come across. Why? Because there is a cultural obligation, a cultural pressure to make you into a slave. And when you think about the entire thing in its entirety, man, you're fucking the whole culture, the whole country, the culture of this nation is based on the oppression of black men. So it is built on you as an individual to level the fuck up, be able to see through the bullshit and make your own fucking decisions.
Okay, and Grant. What a lot of people don't want to get it through their head, man. Which is you end up repeating it to them, man. And what you just said, other people have said, BGS have said, I've said. They don't understand. This is part of. It's in the foundation, right? So there isn't any. Hey, well maybe they'll treat us fair if we become more educated. Because then you got to use the example of those 4 lawyers getting fucked with by the cops for no fucking reason while they were walking into the store in business suit. Right? This country is built. Well, 1 second. This country is literally built on primarily the oppression of black men. Black women's oppression is a side dish. Our oppression is the main thing. It's built on our backs, right? Women aren't carrying heavy loads. You get what I mean? If they could have done it without the women better, they wouldn't have had the women here. So we black men have to start understanding, man, that look, until you can get yourself to the damn point where you can make some damn shot calls in your life on some real shit and not just hoping that it won't be so goddamn bad, then whatever you think you're doing, you're just continuing to spin your wheels doing that, driving in the same direction uphill in the fucking mud that we've been doing for decades. You have decades and decades of examples.
Yeah, because I'm reading a book called the American Slave Coast, right? And they were quoting the slave owner said he said a black wench that couldn't have any children was a waste of money. She wasn't even worth working. She couldn't have. Her value was actually having children. Go ahead, Judge. We got about 15 minutes.
I'm gonna have to go in a minute, but I just want to say something to Grinch right here, just to fuck with him. See, you sitting up here. Matter of fact, I'm fucking with all the men on here. Y'all sitting up here and y'all complaining about how these women act. Look, dude, all you got to do is spend one night with that throat, and then you'll change your tune.
Sorry. All of a sudden you say, it ain't
I'm gonna give you the whole line, Judge. You ain't shit. You ain't
one night
shit,
with the throat.
And you ain't gonna be shit.
You ain't gonna be shit.
Yeah.
The problem is that motherfuckers been spending nights with the goddamn throat. That's what got her hand up in the first fucker.
Right, that's what I said. One night with the throat. I'm telling you, man, that shit must have been good.
Yeah, so what we're saying, man, one blowjob away.
Dude, so I already told y'all before, I'm from Joliet, Illinois, right? That's 20 minutes southwest of Chicago. So
And
I was going,
home of the Blues Brothers.
Blues Brothers. I knew y'all was going there, Stateville, all that shit, right? So check me out though. I'm a little over halfway through Tommy Curry's Man Not.
Okay.
And Joliet, Illinois came up in there. So there was a case where two black young black adults, males, were killed by these four white folks, right? Two white girls, two white dudes. And then they had sex on top of their bodies.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
But they're barely, when you look at that, I mean, how much are they really using that when they're talking about the culture in this fucking country and what black men go through? You get what I mean? There was another chick. She had a kid, 30 years old. She had a kid. Her baby daddy was 16. Young black male. She shot and killed him. They're not talking about that when they're talking about the culture of what black men go through in this country. They are intentionally trying. There's another one. This fucking white female cop hemmed up this young brother, squeezed his balls till they popped.
Ooh.
Oh shit!
Yes, and he heard an audible pop, right? So, but they don't talk about that when they talk about what black men go through in this country. Instead, they want to make you the goddamn sex beast, and everybody needs to be scared of the damn boogeyman. These young brothers need to start understanding the way that see what they don't say is just as powerful as what they do say. Right.
That's why they want to attack. That's the real reason, and Grinch probably have seen it. The real reason they want to attack this online community, right? Because they said what goes on here ain't real, don't go on in real life. This little small section we call YouTube, called the Black Manosphere, man, is when they got these black chicks shook.
Because we're not supposed to be talking to each other.
One time, yeah.
It disrupts their way of life. See, that's the craziest thing about this shit. Even something as small as this black sector of the manosphere, as something as small as this, the ideas that are coming out of here, it's kind of like the plantation. If one nigga starts whispering about revolt, about liberation, about escape, about a life on the other side of the motherfucking property line, all of a sudden, you got everybody lined up with torches coming to drag this nigga out of his residence to motherfucking make an example out of him, which is why they go so hard just to discourage all those who might be of like mind. And the fucked up thing is with the internet. The fucked up thing to the gynocracy is the fact that you cannot stop this shit. I mean, and niggas tried to get me off Amazon when I wrote the Ratchet's Rouge. Like, niggas tried to do all types of shit. Niggas done came at BGS and his family. Like, look, trust me, there are real world consequences of speaking like this on these public platforms. But this is why there is such a fucking effort. And when you really look at the opposition, it doesn't matter if these bitches don't like each other. It doesn't matter if these motherfuckers, if these maggles and all these other motherfuckers, none of this shit matters. They're all, if they get along or not, they're all against this because they know if this shit catches fire, then your way of life, which is perpetuated by black male subjugation, is over.
It's over. Which is why they had the bitch slap Snoop when he spoke out.
Right, exactly. But to add on to that, here's the other thing that brothers got to realize. That is all what we said is true. But when you think about it, if black men think about the tiers in this country, if black men are not at the bottom, this country operates. It was made. Everything was built on the subjugation of a people, on a class system. The thing is, this nation, this civilization doesn't operate without an underclass. And if black men in droves exited this country, who you think is next on the chopping block.
You ain't lying.
The women.
And so that is the real fear. It's about maintaining, yes, it is about maintaining a lifestyle. It's about maintaining that. But it is also about self-preservation.
Mm-hmm.
The truth is the black beast would rather have you bear the lash of the whip, get incarcerated at a fucking astronomical rates, have you be murdered in the street, have you do her motherfucking, do you work hard like a motherfucker, like a slave for her benefit. But the thing is, she knows, and she knows this by the way she idolizes Miss Ann, by the way that she covets, as Angry Man would say, what's that nigga name from Bonanza? John Cartwright.
Oh yeah, Cartwright. Yeah.
The Cartwright. The way she looks at Mr. Cartwright, the way she covets, you know this. So the thing is, you have to understand this is why they go so hard. No matter how much they might dislike each other, no matter how much they might despise each other, no matter how much they covet the white man or envy the white woman. The thing is, they're doing all this shit because they realize it's survival.
Mm-hmm.
If you understand that, and you understand why they're doing this, you need to do everything in your power for the same thing they're doing it for: survival.
Well, this is the thing I know it. You can tell already that this thing has legs already. Think about it. It's 350 people watching this show.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it's probably only about 20 people talking in the chat. So they realize, and these women know that. So you say there's 20 people talking. Yeah, we just round the number down. Say 300. It's 150 men, 150 women. We're getting through, and a lot of men, they may not be speaking up, but even some of the simps are starting to make adjustments, and that's making it harder on them. That's why when people like Snoop stand up or something like that, they try to smack them down more, but they don't realize something. They've already passed the point of no return. Every time you smack them down, you might think that we shut that motherfucker up. But I mean, the smart ones who already just put anything in and realize, that's even more reasons to leave your motherfucking ass alone. You know, you can't take no criticism, can't say shit to them. Like I was on a panel with a chick the other day. I mean, and it's like, well, as soon as you go, well, I know I don't want to hear that. Wait a minute. See, you don't realize something. That's the reason why. As soon as you come out, you can't even have a talk with somebody you done come on the internet to talk to. Mm-hmm. What the fuck you gonna think you gonna do in a relationship?
Hey, BGS.
Yes, sir.
BGS, I gotta go. But in the words, I'll leave y'all in the words of the great Louisiana legend, Boosie. Boosie a badass. You feel me?
All right. Go ahead.
You might fall in love with a woman when he's 16, but what he gonna do when his dick be gone? My thing.
Where you going, Grinch? Where you going?
Hey, Grinch got his shit to handle. It's Friday.
No. Oh my God, the throat is over there. We about to lose another one.
Bro, maintain your motherfucking manhood. Understand the situation that we're in. Look at your opposition. And when you understand somebody's motivators, you can understand what their end goal is. So my thing is be fucking aware, educate yourself, and as I always say, man, we all we got, man. Be easy, BJS.
All right, close. All right.
It's the throat over there, Grinch. We don't want to lose another one, man. Come on, man. We can't lose another one.
Grinch gonna go do some Jason Bourne shit, man. It's Friday.
No, the throat is over his house. We about to lose another one. Pray for people. Pray for Grinch.
All right, closing thoughts.
Everybody
folks.
Go to Amazon, buy the book.
All right, well, I'll say this before I head out there, BJS. Folks better start taking this shit serious, right? Technology is speeding this shit. What you have to understand is technology is constantly getting better. So whatever they can do with technology now, they're going to be able to do in half the time in 2 years.
Yep.
It's speeding up. So even the predictions that people make right now, they're making it with the current technology. They don't know how fast they're going to be able to do this shit. They're estimating. So people have to start taking this shit seriously. You better start figuring out how to deal with other black men without fucking going crazy and shit. Because really, at the end of the day, like they said, we all we got.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, because when it comes down to it, like I tell a lot of young dudes, I give them art channel, BGS channel, and I tell them, I say, man, start with these guys. y'all need to look into this stuff, man. Especially young guys. I was talking to a guy just had a kid, and he was like, "Yeah, man, my baby mama be tripping and stuff like that, and all crazy." I'm like, "Man, you need to get her to a point where you can work with her,
Mm.
you know, because it's already hard." And he was like,
But
"Yeah,
the
she got
problem
2
is you
kids.
can't work with them.
Yeah,
Sometimes you can't.
yeah.
I
Sometimes you
mean,
can't. You just gotta let them go."
like white people got on me because I told them, I said, I ain't even gonna lie. I tell these, if you have a child and the woman want to sit up here and make your life a living hell, I hate to say something, pay the bill and walk away.
Hey,
Yeah,
You'll be more productive, and that way maybe the child will get grown and come back, and you can do more for them.
at the end of the day, the woman has to make a choice. I had to tell my
Right.
my ex the same thing. I said, you got two choices: either you work with me, and I pay, I pay a reasonable sum, and we can actually work together. Or guess what? Go ahead and take me to court, send me the bill, and tear up my phone number because I don't know you. She
yeah,
had to make a
Right.
choice. I'm not gonna play that
But
game between.
but if you notice too, I was sitting up there. I had a conversation with a chick that I used to try to talk to, but I got friends on. We remained friends for years. And
Mm,
this bitch was sitting up there talking about, well, I don't care. Like her son's father paid child support
mm,
and all like this, but she says he doesn't spend enough time with her.
mm,
Well, I said, well, maybe he doesn't have enough time. This, that, and that. I mean, he's paying child support, so he should have a say so on that. No, I'm like, so wait a minute. You're gonna tell me that because I would rather have the time than the money? Well, maybe he can give the money and not the time. Just because he doesn't do what you doesn't do enough in your book that
mm.
he doesn't have a say so. No, he don't have a say so. I'm
Okay.
like, I was sitting there thinking. My girlfriend was sitting there listening to this debate between me and her, and he
Mm.
said, like, she even looked at me and said, I see why she alone.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well.
you understand what I'm saying? That's just kind of fucked up. The man is paying child support,
Mm,
paying. She's not saying he don't pay, but she said that he need to make time. I said, well, he got another family to pay for. He got another household to pay for. I mean, the man might be working 60 hours a week to pay for everything.
mm.
There ain't much time left.
Yeah. Yeah. There isn't. Smooth. You got a closing thought?
Yeah, my closing thought is that just like Meech was saying, y'all, we gotta take this shit seriously, everything that's going on right now. And if you see that the mainstream media is hyping up something and everybody's talking about it, then you wanna probably go to people like BGS and subscribe to channels like I think it's called Ralph D. Wolf or something with the EU report,
Oh,
just so you
uh,
know what is going on in the world right now as we speak, because most likely there's always some kind of smoke screen. And
there's not much of a smoke screen because they can't hide too much, and things are so critical. There's only so many moves. They really can't hide a whole lot. The thing
damn,
is,
they ain't even got the money for that, BGS.
no, the problem's too big, and it's too much. And plus, there's too many lines of communication. Like the black women that would love to shut this down, but they can't. All they can do is shame it, but it is what it is. Anyway, y'all, let me
All
bounce
right,
off of here.
y'all.
Go get
Peace,
something to eat.
y'all.
See y'all later. Peace.
Later.